Bittner, captain, number 13.
Week 9 football is live on Clutch Sports Media. Tonight it's a battle of the birds. The Dunlap Eagles and the Metamora Redbirds ready to square off in the final tune-up before playoff time. Alongside Luke Young, I'm Gavin Russell. Luke, this is everything you want out of a Week 9 matchup. It all comes down to this. All the blood, sweat, and tears that have been put in, we're going to see it come to fruition here tonight in Malone Field.
Yeah, both teams looking to fight for a home playoff game. Dunlap tied third in the Middle Illini, and Metamora second in Mid-Illini, as both teams are looking to finish off their season strong here. A little storyline going in. Brett Caslett looking for his 100th win as the Dunlap head coach.
That's a big storyline indeed. He's one of the longer tenured head coaches in the Mid-Illini Conference, especially with a lot of changes in recent years. Speaking of those Dunlap Eagles, though, who are we looking at tonight? What can we expect from them?
Yeah, obviously the big story is Max Sutter, the Alabama tight end commit, #1 player in Illinois. He's been the storyline of every game for Dunlap this season. He's going to be the main focal point of their passing offense. Along with that, they have two great running backs in Blake Dietz and Jaden Schmick to look out for tonight.
Those are some big players for the Eagles. You see them there in white. On the other side, the home team, the Metamora Redbirds. They'll be wearing their red uniforms. What are we looking for with them?
Yeah, another side with a great run game. Of course, the star, Jadon Cranford, is going to be the #1 guy for them tonight. An elite running back for the Metamora Redbirds. But along with that, their quarterback, Stephen Petrie, a great running quarterback. He's going to have some big plays tonight.
Two dynamic teams. They've played great season so far. They'd like to cap off Week 9 with a big win ahead of the postseason. We'll have all the live action for you right here on ClutchSportsIL.com. Don't go anywhere. It's a battle of the birds. Dunlap, Metamora coming up next on CSM. Crisp fall air and football at Malone Field, something very familiar with one another. Always a time of year the Redbirds seem to be playing late in the season as we head into almost winter time. First day it feels like those winter conditions, but nevertheless it's football weather here in Metamora. Alongside Luke Young, it's Gavin Russell here on the call for Clutch Sports Media's Week 9 action of Dunlap and Metamora. And as you get a look there at the temperature, 50 degrees, very misleading. It's probably feeling more like the 30s right there. We've had freezes lately. Definitely chilly.
Yeah, for sure. You can see the fans bundled up.
Very, very cold, as not many people have made the trip from the Dunlap side just yet. Maybe heading out a little bit later. But we got great action on the football field. We're glad you've joined us, even if you're staying warm at your home or wherever you might be. Let's talk about these two teams, though, Luke. First of all, you look at Dunlap. Dunlap has obviously, been a team that came out very strong, was a team poised to be one of the best in Central Illinois. As you get a look at them coming out right there, they've kind of hit a speed bump, though. Lost their last two games against two very good teams. How do you weather that storm?
Yeah, they've dropped the last two, and I asked Coach Kaz during our interview, I was like, hey, what are you telling your guys at practice to get them back in the winning column? He's like, hey, it's a high school football season. You have your ups and downs. Even for the best teams, you see ups and downs. And this is still a great football team. They do have the two losses, but I still believe that they can put up a great playoff performance and a great performance here tonight in Week 9.
No doubt about that. It's a chance to bounce back against a very good Metamora program, 7-1. On the flip side, Dunlap is 6-2, so both positive records. Metamora has a potential shot at winning or at least sharing a Mid-Illini title. Tiebreakers do not apply in the Mid-Illini, so with a Metamora win tonight and a Washington loss, they would share part of that title. But I think for the most part, both these teams are just looking for some momentum heading into the playoffs. And even just one win, 6 versus 7, 7 versus 8, that makes a big difference with your playoff seeding, potential home games. This is a big game. Yeah,
I think both of these coaches are very familiar with these programs are very familiar with one each other. They play each other almost every single year. And Caslet's definitely Coach Caslet for Dunlap. He's definitely very familiar. He's played Metamora every single year that he's coached here, and he's looking for his 100th win in this game. And Metamora is trying to spoil his victory with trying to get their 6th win in a row.
That's some big storylines right there. But how about the players that are going to make it happen as the Redbirds nearly set to take the field? Let's look for Dunlap. I know we talked about a couple off the top. A couple other guys maybe we should watch for the Eagles. Yeah,
I really like their quarterback, Tierra Truman. He's going to do his great job. A great job getting the ball to Max Sutter. He's a versatile QB. He can do a lot of things with the football. And if I'm Coach Caslett, I have a lot of trust if he's my guy under center.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped in, taken the reins. Obviously, I think they were expecting Johnny Bargan, who departed over to high school in Indiana. Tyrus stepped in very, very nicely. Looking on the Dunlap defensive side of things, they also have some big players as well. So you get a look at the all-white.
Yeah.
And they're looking for maybe a snow game. Good thing it's not snowing tonight. We wouldn't be able to tell who is who. Notice there, though, Brett Caslett seeking that elusive 100th win. Escaped them the last couple weeks, but there's the Metamora Redbirds. They're trying to hold them off for one more week. They come out in those red uniforms. Let's flip it to the Redbirds for a second. We talked about Truman Tyra, the quarterback for Dunlap. Who do we look for on the Redbirds?
Yeah, for their quarterback side, Stephen Petrie, he's a two-way QB. He'll throw and he'll run it. You see both him and their star running back, Jadon Cranford, who we talked about in the open. Both of those guys are going to be dynamic on the ground, but Petrie's got an underrated arm. He's thrown 10 passing touchdowns this year, add on 885 yards along with that, so he's going to be dynamic.
That's probably the biggest separator for both of these teams is just having so many dynamic players.
Yeah, stars across the board for both sides.
Not a lot of teams can say that. That's the difference maker. Despite some injuries, we were here in Metamora for their game against Pekin a few weeks back. They were without Jadon Cranford. They had a few injuries. They were about 3 or 4 deep on the depth chart at running back, still able to put up a big win against the very competitive Dragons program. So you see how these two teams play. Dunlap, again, despite the 2 recent losses, both very close. I mean, they were in both games, both less than 1 score. So I expect nothing but a good one here tonight.
Yeah.
This is just fun, Luke. I mean, week 9, like we were talking about football weather, this is all you want out of an end-of-the-season football game.
Yeah, I've never been to Metamora before driving in. There was signs after sign after sign for Metamora football. So it's a big deal here in Metamora. Doesn't get any bigger than a rival Dunlap team in week 9 in the cold weather. It's about as good as it gets here.
We're looking forward to a good one here tonight. Thanks for joining us on Clutch Sports Media. We'll be here for all 4 quarters and everything in between as the Redbirds will be kicking off to start this game. They'll defer to the second half. A smaller but still mighty crowd from both sides is fired up for this one, and so are we. Helmets raised in the air for the Metamora sideline. And we are about to get underway, and the ball is kicked. Get fielded around the 15. Looking for a couple blocks. Gets a couple nice blocks. It's going to be a great return right up to midfield. Dunlap with excellent starting field position.
Yeah, what a run up there. Saw a huge hole in the middle there, right up the middle to that 50-yard line, right on the Metamora logo.
That's Jack Steffen on the return. Took that one from about the 15. As we look at the Eagles having the edge, they're 6-4 in the last 10 meetings. Pretty close, but they've come out the better team in the last few.
Yeah, and they've looked exceptional in these past few years, and it's just carried into this year too. Hoping to get a big win here in week 9.
We'll see if the trend holds. It'll be Tyra is going to take it, but it's going to be blown up by the Redbirds. The keeper will lose yards on the play.
Truman Tyra on the carry.
Probably lost about
Down by Caden Patoni for
2
Metamora.
yards. Caden Patoni
2 on the play. Second
bringing
down,
him down. And it's a pretty young defense and offensive line for Metamora, but they've stepped up in a big way this season.
Yeah, Patoni only a junior, but a lot of sophomores on both lines. And, yeah, you're right, they have stepped up. Coach Dolinsky has put it on his guys to mature fast, and they've done it so far late in this year.
They've been doing it since week 1, so they've got several weeks of experience under their belt now, playing just as good as their counterpart upperclassmen. Tyra's going to throw it. It's going to be Max Sutter on a little screen pass. Blocks around a couple, and he'll get a modest gain there, 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, Sutter's almost a leader in every single receiving category for this, or is the leader for every single receiving category for this Dunlap team. He's got 29 catches, 602 yards, and 11 touchdowns on the season, the Alabama commit. He's going to stand out on the field no matter if he has a ball or not. They're going to move him all around. I think there was a penalty on that play.
Yeah, it's going to go backwards. It's going to be an illegal block in the back on Dunlap. So bad start for the Eagles offense. 2 negative plays. Probably not how you scripted it up if you're Brett Caslin.
Yeah, I did a Dunlap game earlier in this year, and their Achilles heel was their penalties. They still came out and found a way to win, but it was almost a penalty after every single big play that they had, bringing them back. So hopefully Caslin helps them tighten up here.
As a veteran coach, probably knows the right things to say to slow those penalties down. Lots of emotions running high, just getting started. It's going to be a handoff on 2nd down, and just not going anywhere, maybe stumble forward for a yard. As the Metamora sideline is just fired up. They are really bringing the energy.
Yeah, it looks like 3rd and 20 here. I think that was Schmick who had the ball there. Schmick was their #1 running back all year. Schmick with 87 carries, 640 yards, and 13 touchdowns for the Golden Eagles this year. He's been dynamic all year, and he's the type of guy that'll get positive yards no matter what. And we saw him there get back to the line of scrimmage, even with a tough Metamora defense there.
3rd and 18. Long drop back. Tyra's going to throw. It's Max Sutter over the middle, but he'll be brought down short. Solid tackle, and now kind of decision time. Kind of no man's land. On the other side of midfield, we've seen a lot more teams in this day and age go for it. On 4th down in this position. What do you do?
Yeah, I think with a guy like Sutter, we saw run a great route there over the middle, just didn't get enough yards. I think with him, just kind of throw it up to him, hope for the best. But he's going to serve as their punter here, I think, in this instance, and they're going to boot this one away.
Want to play it safe early in the ball game, put a little pressure on the Metamora offense, who will get their first look at things. Max Sutter, really jack of all trades. He gets a pretty good boot on it. It's going to head right towards the end zone. It's going to just barely bounce in. Redbirds catch a break. That was nearly not a coffin corner, but nearly down right at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, nearly pinned him right there on that end zone. But I'm really excited to see this Metamora offense for the first time. Jadon Cranford has really drawn my attention. Heard about a lot from him this week, and he's been exceptional all year. So it'll be good to see him in person for the first time.
There was a flag on the last play, but it was negated, declined, and look there at the Metamora Redbirds, 5-game winning streak. Look at the score differential. I mean, they are averaging just so many points per game. They were shut out once against rival Washington, kind of a blip in things, but they have been dominant otherwise. Yeah, and their biggest win is a 43-point victory over East Peoria, 63-20, where Jadon Cranford had 6 touchdowns. So hoping to recreate that performance. But yeah, that shutout by Washington kind of was the turning point of their season. And it is going to be Cranford on 1st down, the Northern Illinois commit. And he's a little frustrated. He stumbled and fell, but a positive gain on 1st. Yeah, and I asked Coach Cass, what's the game plan for a guy like Cranford? And they said, just trying to make spaces tight. Don't want to give him to the outside. Try to get as many people to the hole as when he catches the ball. And that's just kind of been the strategy for them, for opponents all year. Can't let Cranford get out in space. Yeah, a lot of coaches we've talked to have echoed similar things. Cranford's going to go back up the middle on 2nd down. He's going to be close to the 1st. See if they give him the line to gain. Yeah, when talking to Coach Dolinsky, I asked him, like, are you going to move him around, or is everything going to be kind of out of the backfield? And it was like, with a guy like that, you can't really hide him. So the defense, they're watching him no matter what, where he goes. They might throw him a few screens, but most things are going to be pulling the guards, going to the outside, trying to get big runs with their star running back. They're a ground and pound sort of team, and when they want to get tricky, they can pull a fast one on you, so really hard to defend against. Dunlap up to the challenge, though, as we get a bit of a jump. No call. Back again to Cranford, and that time it was swallowed up back to the line of scrimmage. And Dunlap's defense has really been superb all year, even in their last couple losses. Held opponents to not that many points, just a few scores. So they're a team that probably could match up pretty well with Metamora.
Yeah, I'm looking at their linebacker, Josh Diefenfather. He's got 30 tackles and two sacks on the season. He's their leader of this defense, along with Sutter on the edge there. He's a big guy coming off the outside, but a lot of studs around this team on this defense.
As we get a stoppage in play, flag flies, and it looks like it's going to be on the Redbirds as they start moving backwards. Legal substitution on Metamora.
Metamora. 12 players in the huddle for Metamora.
So it'll bring 2nd and long, 2nd and 15 after the penalty. Petrie's going to throw it this time. Drops back under all sorts of pressure. Tries to escape out. He does. And he will get back around the original line of scrimmage, and that's what he can do.
Yeah.
He can make something out of nothing.
Yeah, no yards to gain there, but you can see the elusiveness already of Petrie moving in and out of the defenders like that. And Dunlap's not really a team that creates a lot of pressure, only 9 sacks on the season. I guess that's 1 sack a game. That's pretty good for a lot of high school teams, but good pressure right there early in the game, getting Petrie to move right away.
Yeah, they haven't cashed in on a lot of sacks, but lots of tackles for loss.
Yep.
Much better defending the run game than the pass game. You look at their starting D-line, I mean, all over the place. Charlie TZ, 6.5 tackles for loss, leads the team. You go down the line, though, Alex Welch, 4 tackles for loss, so on and so forth. Now they get Cranford to the outside. That's what they want right there. Bursts through the hole. Still going. He's going to get some big yardage and finally pushed out of bounds. He had a stiff arm going for about 15 yards.
Yeah, he was holding that guy off for as long as he could, and all the way to the outside. Cranford, also a track level or state level track runner, set a record for the 60-yard dash last year for track. So he's got real speed, not just football speed. He's got speed.
And to get a look right there, that's what they want. Get him to the outside, lots of open space, a good block from the receivers, and just holding them off, just pushing them off. And finally stepped out of bounds. Back to Cranford, finds another edge, still going, and he'll step out once again. And you got to contain that edge if you're Brett Caslett and the Eagles.
Yeah, that's got to be the focus if you are Dunlap. The edge has been open so far early in this play. Hopefully Caslett can tighten things up.
On the other side, though, Nick Dolinsky got to be very pleased with his star running back, who was banged up for a couple weeks early in the year, so hasn't even played a complete campaign.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's right, especially after last week, as he mentioned, huge week against East Peoria.
Yep.
Halfway point of the first quarter. No score yet. Metamora driving, though. It's a bobbled snap. And once again, Petrie able to make something out of a broken play. Looked like they were going to go to a handoff. But that time he had to just take it himself.
Yeah, Cranford was not in the game. We saw their backup running back, Mark Ashelman, for the first time. He kind of took over that role of the starting running back while Cranford was out with that injury. He did a pretty good job. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year, along with 329 yards. And Petrie, once again, making something out of nothing. Very elusive quarterback, and we can see him move through defenders just like that on that play.
Ashelman still in the game on 2nd down in the backfield. He will get the handoff this time. Stumbles forward. Gets maybe a yard. So big opportunity for a 3rd down for Dunlap. But if you're Metamora, you definitely want to keep a great drive going.
Yeah, this might be 4-down territory here. If you are Metamora, you got that great backfield along with a great quarterback. So this is a manageable 7 yards if I'm Coach Dolinsky.
Crowds get fired up. 3rd down.
4 yards.
Didn't update on the scoreboard quick enough. It will be a keeper. Petrie will be short of the stick, so we'll see if they make that decision. I would probably agree with you on the 4-down territory.
Yep.
Bringing up 4th and 2. Cranford has been out of the game the last 3 plays.
Yeah, he's got his helmet off, too.
Wonder if he's having an equipment malfunction.
Yep. Here he comes.
And he'll come back in the game now. I got to think this ball's going to him.
Yeah. Yeah, and if I'm on that Dunlap defense, I'm a little worried about these RPOs. Coach Delancey talks about how Cranford kind of loses some carries due to their scheme. As we see, Petrie is good with his legs as a timeout is called here. But, yeah, he can pull those. He can pull some of those handoffs and try to create on his own based on what the defense gives them.
And it'll be a timeout by Metamora ahead of 4th and 2. Nick Delinsky didn't like what he was seeing.
Yeah.
Pretty emphatic there on the sidelines. Both teams get an early breather. And this is really one of the first weeks that we've had that cold weather, which definitely is a different environment to play in. It's been a pretty unseasonably warm season up to this point. How do you manage through that? The air's a little bit thinner. It's chilly. You're not sweating quite as much.
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
Honestly, if I'm a football player, this is kind of the weather I've been looking forward to. This is what they call, quote-unquote, football weather. Tackles are going to hurt a little more, and everything's going to feel a little bit more sore due to the cold. But I think it decreases it, makes it easier to breathe sometimes. That hot weather can take away a lot of your oxygen. But I think in the cold, I think this is what a football player lives for, and we got it here this week.
See if they embrace the football weather or not. So far, Metamora has. 4th and 2. Big play. Goes to Cranford. He's going to get it and then some. Maybe. It's going to be close. Just depends on the spot.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
He will get enough for a first down. Looked like he had a hole to run through. Was quickly hit by Dunlap, but not in the nick of time. Gets it by maybe a half yard.
Yeah, good second effort there by Cranford, diving for that first down, making sure his team is set up with a 1st and 10 to score this touchdown. First touchdown in the game. Try to break open that scoreboard.
So they're starting from the 11, another chance at a first down. They'd like to just punch it in, though, I'm sure. Cranford hops through, still on his feet and finally brought down. You see how many white jerseys it takes to bring him down.
Yep.
Brett Caslett said we got to send a lot of hats to Jadon Cranford.
Yeah, he said making space tight, and that's what outside of those 2 outside runs, it's kind of what Dunlap's been doing for Cranford whenever he's touched the ball.
Dunlap's got to contend, no doubt, with 4-down territory here. Almost a guarantee.
Looking to see if they go to Petrie's arm here. We've seen a lot of stuff on the ground. Maybe they'll try to go for a pass to catch this Dunlap defense off guard.
They'll go back to the run. Fairly productive. Gets about half of what they need.
Jadon Cranford down to the 5-yard line.
Hasn't been the quickest drive.
Nope.
Chewed off a lot of time, but Metamora I think is totally content with that.
Yeah.
Especially since they'll get the ball to start second half.
Yeah, this Dunlap offense is really dynamic, so taking the ball out of their hands as much as possible. It's probably a goal of Coach Delinsky. Probably I could just see 2 handoffs to Cranford here, try to get these last few yards.
5 yards to go for a touchdown, 3 yards to go for a first down. Trips on the far side. Now Cranford rolls out. It's going to be Petrie on the keeper. He will just get in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Metamora. Little fake action there, and Stephen Petrie scampers in for 6.
Yeah, what a great play there. You talked about the trips. Looked for a second there, looking like he was going to go to one of his receivers. Looked like somebody in the slot. Great fake there by Petrie. Brings him to 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. So he is a definition of a dual threat quarterback, and he's did a great job on that drive, using his legs, creating stuff for his team, and ended up with a touchdown.
And a flag was thrown. I don't believe that was any impact on the play. Perhaps a sideline warning on Metamora.
Yeah, maybe.
Nevertheless, a successful touchdown as they'll attempt a 2-point conversion. It looks like they're trying to put points up early. Petrie going to try and keep it himself once again, and he will get in 2 more. It's an 8-0 start for Metamora, and feeling good are the home fans here at Malone.
Yeah, the crowd is alive, kind of fighting that cold weather with a touchdown. And that was a really great possession there from the Redbirds, taking a lot of time, very, very methodical, and got the 8 points that they were looking for. And now the pressure turns to Dunlap. Can they respond with their offense? We saw some great passing plays, one to Max Sutter there over the middle. But as we see Petrie here, just kind of forcing his way through for that touchdown through the bigger defender, which was Father. And 8-0 is your score after that long drive by Metamora.
Yeah, on that touchdown run, it looked like Petrie was able to just use the legs. It was kind of an upper body tackle.
Yeah. Probably
something that they'll want to adjust. Gotta go low, bring him down, because lots of second efforts on that last drive from Metamora. A second chance for the Dunlap offense about to come up. They got a really, really healthy return. The first time didn't do anything with it, as this one's a low squibber, and his knee was down.
Ooh.
So a tough break there for the Eagles, as it was Caden Wooden fielding it, but caught it with his knee on the ground, so they'll start a little farther back. Still decent field position for Dunlap.
Yeah, the biggest question here, if you're Coach Kaz, is how bad will the penalties hurt us? And try to take away some of these penalties on these offensive drives. Hoping to go for a penalty-free drive, even if it doesn't end with a touchdown, it's still a positive outcome. In probably Coach Kaz's opinion, still want that score, but no penalties would be a positive as well.
Ball movement, clean football, never a bad thing.
Yep.
As they'll line up around the 27-yard line, it's going to be a little screen pass. Gets a little bit of open space. Lots of red jerseys coming in after a few extra yards.
Pass complete to Jackson Steffen.
Steffen with the reception.
Yeah, Steffen with an early impact. He had that long kick return on that first drive for Dunlap, and now a great screen pass to get some positive yards for the Golden Eagles.
They'll bring about 2nd and 5. Probably going to be a lot of passing tonight from Dunlap. They're one of the best in the area doing that.
Yep.
They're going to hand it off this time. And stumbling forward near the sticks. Looks like that was Blake Dietz. And you look at these two running backs for Dunlap. I know you already mentioned them a little bit, but
yeah,
nearly identical amounts of carries.
Yeah.
They both have 13 touchdowns as well, so they've been pretty neck and neck. It's almost like a little inner competition in the running back room for the Eagles.
Yeah, two-headed monster for the Golden Eagles, and they are dynamic. No matter which one gets the ball, both of them are going to go for positive yards. And you said identical amount of TDs, so they've been that on-the-ground force for Dunlap this season.
26 combined rushing touchdowns, Jaden Schmick and Blake Dietz. First down for Dunlap. Tyra turns around, throws, and Max Sutter was not ready for it. Looks like he just was not ready for the pass. Maybe a little bit of a premature throw.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, not a bad route there from Sutter.
Yeah, Sutter was alone on that left side, and Truman was staring him down the whole time, and I think Sutter kind of stumbled on his apex of his route there as we saw him fall, trying to catch that ball. But, yeah, you said a great route by Sutter, and that's a skill for somebody that big to run a route like that. That's rare.
They're going to hand it off again. Dietz will grab a few yards, bring up a 3rd and manageable. And Cranford's going to come into the game on defense. We've seen him play two ways quite a bit this season, aside from those weeks he was hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that you really don't want to see on either side of the ball.
Yeah. His speed is just a game flipper. Like we kind of see with Tyreek Hill with the Dolphins, he tilts the field with how fast he is. People just have to worry about him all the time, no matter what side of the ball he's on. And I'd like to see him kind of play safety here, maybe a little safety blitz. I think he's lining up, in that left safety position.
Tyra's going to roll out with it. He's got to make a decision. He's going to commit and run, and he will be very close to the sticks. It looks like he will get enough for a first down. Kind of a sidestep move But nevertheless, first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, what a run there by Truman. Like you said, he had to make a decision. He committed to the run, spun his way forwards. Looked like he was going to be short there for a little bit, but a great dive forward to secure that first down as the quarter ticks down.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter. It's been an entertaining one so far. Metamora so far on top, 8-0. And we'll get a quick word for our great sponsors for tonight's game. Not possible without them. First of all, it's Country Financial. Josh Reneka of Country Financial is proud to present tonight's game. They're proud supporters of Dunlap athletics and high school football. For all your insurance needs, give Josh and Holly a call at 309-689-3161. Also, Clutch Sports Media Overtime. You can subscribe to Overtime today for all the latest stories around Central Illinois high school sports. Feature stories, nightly roundups, standings, pretty much anything you could want out of high school sports, any sport, football, volleyball. As we get into the winter sports, basketball, wrestling, all sorts of stuff coming up on CSM Overtime. You've got the QR code right there. Just about $8 a month. Won't break the bank and gives you a lot of coverage for all teams, all sports across the area. As Dunlap looks to keep their drive going right at about midfield. As we start a new quarter, Luke Young, I'm Gavin Russell on the call. As Truman Tyra is going to launch one out for Max Sutter about a step ahead. Tyra got blown up on the back end, though, by a blitz.
Yeah, that was a great throw regardless. That he got lit up as soon as you let that thing go. Sutter was open. So a great play with the empty set there out of the half or out of the quarter to take a deep shot. Good call there by Coach Kaz.
Max Sutter, 1 reception, 16 yards. And there you see Truman Tyra, 2 of 3. Hasn't thrown three touchdowns tonight, nor an interception. But he has 2 of 3 in the passing game. They'll run on second down. And a big second effort right there. He got hit about 3 times before they brought him down. And that's, again, what Dunlap can do. They just move the ball on the ground. 2 great running backs.
Yeah, Schmick, a great run there. Got hit initially. He still kept moving forwards. And we'll see him do that a lot tonight. And I asked Coach Talinsky, like, what do you do about Sutter? Like, he kind of said the same thing with Cranford. It's not a secret weapon. And the defense is always going to know where he is, no matter where they put him. So
it's going to be a keeper, Tyra. It looks like he will get just enough. Got hit by a couple Redbirds trying to lunge forward, but it'll be enough for a first down. So Dunlap finding a little bit of a groove. They're at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, both quarterbacks relying on their legs early in this game. We've seen Tyra Truman run for a few good first down runs early in this game.
And it's going to be a stoppage in play. Looks like a sideline warning against Dunlap, so both teams have now been warned. A lot of emotions running high on both sides. Just a warning up to this point. Officials getting ahead of it early. Here's Tyra trying to get ahead of one with a big pass, and just out of the reach of his receiver. Didn't look very catchable.
Yeah, I think that's why there's no PI call there. Gillespie was tripped up on that play, but I think you're right. That was an uncatchable ball, so I don't think they're going to throw a flag there.
And kind of got his feet tangled up. Not a lot of contact. Did have a step on the defender, just out of the reach. Again, we'll see if that cold weather starts to affect the passing game a little bit. Definitely harder to do.
Yep.
2nd and 10 from the 40. Back to Blake Dietz. Dietz just kind of sneaks forward.
Yeah.
Not really running full speed, just kind of tiptoes his way up, and he'll get about 7.
Yeah, I think the best thing about these two Dunlap running backs is they're always ready to get hit, and when they get hit, it doesn't mean the end of the possession. They're great at yards after contact, and they always keep moving forward no matter what. And when you're this Metamora defense, you see both of them lined up on either side, and either way it could go there. I think it's a scary sight for any defense.
Goes with a heavier set again, man in motion. Schmick is going to get it. He's going to break through. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Dunlap. Way to turn the tides, and they're on the board.
Yeah, what a great possession there by Dunlap to stick to the ground game and keep just pounding and pounding and pounding until something broke through, and we see the breakthrough right there. We see Schmick through that hole and up into the end zone for a touchdown for the Golden Eagles.
Just kind of all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, comes right at you. As they're going to attempt a PAT, so they'll do their best to try to keep themselves down by 1 score, but don't think the Eagles are satisfied with just 1 touchdown. I think they expect to score much more.
Yeah, and the most frustrating thing about their offense is when they go to those heavy sets, you know they're going to run. So you're like, okay, thinking for the run, and sometimes they're still unstoppable, just like on that play as Schmick breaks free. As we see it right here, just a great gap there brought to you by the offensive line, and just waltzes in untouched for the touchdown.
It was that last block, the left tackle Colton Barlow able to get up there, made a nice block, and Schmick scampers in for 6. The PAT successful. It's Dunlap. Trails by 1, but they get themselves on the board. 3 carries for Schmick, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Good start for him. Now Metamora, a chance to respond, so kind of that back and forth now. Metamora, no problems on their opening drive. Kind of just waltzed their way down the field. You expect to see more of Cranford?
Yeah, for sure. And I think if you're a fan, this is the type of game that you're looking for. You want to see this go back and forth, because both of these teams are pretty similar, and both are going to put up touchdowns. And I think Cranford, he's going to drive this engine. That is just Metamora offense.
It's a little bit of a flipper, and it's going to be fair caught at the 30-yard line. So it'll be a 70-yard field to go for Metamora as they'll come back out. Saw Cranford go off for a few plays on that last drive. Mark Ashelman, and you mentioned him. We were back here for the Pekin game. He was 3rd or 4th on the depth chart at that point in time. Now he stepped his way up to the backup running back. That's a pretty big, kind of move for a young guy, working his way up in a very, very competitive Metamora team. Yeah,
just a sophomore, so a bright spot for Coach Dolinsky, and he's going to be a guy who's around for 2 more years after this season, so definitely a chance for another great Metamora running back after Cranford graduates.
Cranford was stopped up. He tried to make a second move, but he'll be back to the original line of scrimmage. I think that's probably the biggest difference maker for Dunlap's defense. You got to be able to hold them at bay 1st and 2nd down, make them long on 3rd down.
Yeah, and I asked Coach Kaz, and he said, Metamora is a team that you're going to have to get off the field after 3 downs. You're going to have to hold them as long as you can. You're not going to ever be able to stop their run, but you're going to have to hold them the best that they can and get your chances to get off the field in 3rd downs, and that's how you're going to win this football game.
2nd and 10. Back to Cranford, but it's going to be an RPO pass. Little move made there. It's going to be some big yardage for Metamora. And stepping out of bounds, what a nice play.
I think that was Pickles with the catch there. And Pickles is a great receiver. They have got 3 great receivers on their team. Pickles is one of them. 10 catches for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. And a nice move on that first initial catch. Great awareness of where the cornerback was, and what could have been a short gain turned into a huge chunk play for this Metamora offense.
Yeah, you can't leave Pickles in space. He is very, very fast, very, very athletic. As they'll go back to that well once again, back to Pickles. He's going to make another move. He's going to get some big yardage out of this one. Breaks free, past the 40, down to the 35-yard line. Completely changed the field, comes the other side, but there's a flag.
Yeah, there might be a holding on this play, but regardless, Pickles, what a great job to make something out of nothing. There were 3 or 4 white shirts right in front of him. He decides to cut back a risky play, something we don't see very often from football players. Made a big gain out of it, but I think this is going to come back.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold on Metamora. So a costly penalty. Once again, Jason Pickles. As we get a look at this one here. Definitely trying to go to the far side. Cuts back, though. A couple blockers helped out, but
trying to look for that hold.
Didn't quite see it on the replay. Could have been away from the ball.
Yep.
So it'll bring up a 2nd and long, rather first down. As Petrie doesn't go much anywhere with that one, maybe a yard.
Yeah, and that was one of those RPOs right there. I'm pretty sure that was going to be a handoff, but Petrie read it, said there's going to be a blow up on that if he hands that ball. My running back's about to get blown up, so I'm going to keep this, try to get positive yards on that play, and he got 3 there.
Now it brings up 2nd down for Metamora. Penalty so far killing him on this drive. It's going to be a pass, dropping back. Petrie puts a little air under it, goes up. We're going to get a flag, a little bit of contact, no flag. McMillan was looking for it. Maybe a little contact, but they're going to let that one go.
Yeah, McMillan's the other one of those receivers that I was talking about. 15 catches, 313 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the season. He's another one of those guys. Senior receiver for this Metamora team. We're going to be seeing him get targeted a lot tonight. And on that deep shot, good defense right there.
Yeah, it looks like the corner turned his head around, so.
That was Jack Steffen, who's their lead corner.
Probably going to let that go. Petrie, broken play. He's got to do something with it. He gets it off and caught, but a flag is thrown.
Is he past the line of scrimmage? I think it's going to be a legal man downfield here.
And once again, lots of improvisation from the Metamora offense, but going to be once again negated as you're right, the ineligible player downfield. So moving them back even farther now, 3rd and 21. So this is one of those plays that I don't think you have a 21-yard play for 3rd down in the playbook. Just got to see if you can make something happen.
Yeah, this Eagle defense has done a great job blowing up the sets at whatever sets that Metamora is trying to run tonight. You're right. It's been a lot of Petrie trying to make something happen out of nothing. And almost had something there, but penalties keep moving them back. I think it might just be a handoff to Cranford here.
They are going to put Pickles in motion. Now it's going to be trips on the near side. Cranford will motion off. He'll become a receiver on the far side. It's going to be a rush. Petrie's got space. Another flag is thrown. The ball pops out. He catches his own fumble. It's going to be short, but I believe the flag is going to go on Metamora once again.
Holding maybe again.
They might decline it. We'll see what happens here. It looks like it's probably going to be a hold.
Yep, or a legal block in the back or something.
Watch this, though. Ball pops out. Basically threw it to himself. It looks like they'll decline the penalty and go to 4th down.
Yep.
And first punt of the night, more than likely coming up for the Redbirds.
As we see Petrie, he also plays punter for this team, so two-way player.
Good snap and a decent punt down. And looks like it was downed around the 30-yard line, so they flipped the field. A flag comes out at the end of the play. Bit of a flag fest early on.
Yeah.
Maybe some tired legs after 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah, nerves might play a factor in that too. A big Week 9 game. People try not to mess up, and sometimes when you try not to mess up so much, that's when the mistakes start to come because you're so worried and not just playing loose and free. But yeah, you're right. A lot of flags on the field so far this early in this game.
Metamora going to be happy this one. Not on them this time. It's going to go on Dunlap. So sets them back past the 20-yard line. So a longer field to go after a legal block in the back. So both teams with 1 of 2 on their drives to start this game. It's going to be a handoff, a big run coming up. Lots of space to run. They negate that penalty. Big run right there. It's going to be Schmick once again.
Yeah, he's been looking explosive out of these gaps so far early in this game. Another big run right there. And I think that was probably about the same play that got them the touchdown. A little run to the left, and he makes a big gain out of that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
Schmick, not quite as many yards this season as Blake Dietz, but still a big impact, over 600 yards coming into this game. I'll hand it off once again. The running game has been working. It looks like it was Dietz that time.
Yep.
They pretty much can just alternate carries.
Yeah.
Keep both running backs fresh.
Yeah, stamina's definitely never a problem for this Dunlap backfield. You're right, just the alternative. You can go back and forth, and that can be your entire offensive game plan just for the entire game. Sutter, we talk about his catching and his touchdowns all the time, but he's great at blocking. We see that in the run game, and it shows in the stats.
It's really tough for opposing teams. You know, you probably watch so much film on Truman Tyra and Max Sutter and their combination that, not that you forget about the running game, but it may not be your focal point always. And both parts of their game are very strong. One of the best offensive teams in Central Illinois. Man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. Schmick didn't have anywhere to go that time. Back to the line of scrimmage, and a late flag comes in. We'll see who this goes on. Might have been a late hit.
Yeah, maybe. Some extracurriculars after the play, maybe.
Metamora doesn't look thrilled with what the officials were discussing. If you look at the penalty count so far, Metamora definitely has not been the best. It's going to be unnecessary roughness against the Redbirds. So that's a big 15-yard gainer.
Yeah, that is. After a nice stop there, stopping Schmick, who had some momentum going there. Now you're walking backwards off a mistake and put Dunlap on your side.
Penalties have definitely killed both teams more than once tonight. We'll see if it's costly for the Redbirds or if they can make a stand. Quick snap. It's going to be a pass this time. Caught. A little bit of a move. And it's going to be close to a first down. Kenyon Gillespie. If you look at Gillespie's stats, he only had 16 receptions on the season coming into this game, but almost 350 yards. I mean, that's a ridiculous clip. When he gets the ball, something big's going to happen.
Yeah, he's kind of their slot slash, he kind of is their do-everything receiver. If Sutter's doing one thing going short, then Gillespie's going deep. If Sutter's going deep, then Gillespie's going short. He's kind of their counterpart, and a nice catch and run right there from Gillespie.
Was enough for a first down. Tyra, keeper himself, and he'll stumble forward near the first down marker. And now it's just everything going right for Dunlap.
Yeah. This Metamora defense just looks a step slow compared to this Dunlap offense early in this game. And, I mean, this Dunlap offense has been doing this all season. They're a high potent offense, and they're proving it here.
Time ticking away in the first half. Dunlap trying to take the lead. Dietz is going to get it this time. Barrels forward. He'll get enough for a first down after a second and short. I think Dunlap probably very content to run just about as much clock off as possible.
Yeah.
They'd love to take a lead into halftime.
Yeah, kind of doing what Metamora did to them with their first possession. Take a lot of time off, run the ball over and over. And the luxury for Dunlap is that they can use those two running backs while Metamora has got one guy. Obviously, Ashman is there, but Dunlap's got two experienced running backs they can hand off to over and over.
Hands it off. And that time blown up on the play. Maybe gets a yard. Dietz once again on the carry, and you talk about experience. Kind of two different teams with experience. Overall, Dunlap a much more senior-heavy team compared to Metamora. But right there, the youngsters for the Redbirds making a big stop.
Yeah, especially when it comes to the lines. Metamora's got a lot of young players on their lines, which is something that's pretty rare around high school football. A lot of times the lines are pretty experienced, but see a lot of sophomores, for the lines on both sides for Metamora.
As once again, a very similar looking play gets a couple yards. Lots of juniors and sophomores littered in through both sides of the ball for Metamora.
Yep.
Whereas you look at Dunlap, you're hard-pressed to find somebody that's not a senior.
Yeah.
They have no underclassmen in their starting rotation. Even really off their bench, you're not going to see many that aren't a junior or a senior, so very experienced group. 3rd and 6. Metamora still an opportunity to make a big stand here. 2 good plays in a row. The Malone bleachers start to rumble. Tyra, time to throw. He's got to commit a jump pass, and there's going to be some contact in the end zone.
Big hit in the back there, Ron Gillespie.
Thought we might see a flag.
Yeah.
Pass incomplete, intended for Kenyon Gillespie.
Get another look at it. Tyra kind of thinking about a run, jump pass.
Big hit there from Cranford right in the back of the Gillespie.
Yeah, Metamora might have got away with one right there.
Yeah.
Well before that pass was in the range of Gillespie. Now it brings up 4th down, and they're going to attempt, it looks like, a field goal. Don't see this too often in the high school realm.
Yeah.
The kick is up, and it is on the way and good.
Thinking maybe we might see a little fade route to Sutter there on 4th and 6, maybe get him going across the middle or something. But they choose the field goal, and it's good.
So they go with the 3. Enough for the lead with 2:10 to go. Still plenty of time for Metamora to try to make something happen. Although they do get the ball, so perhaps a 2-for-1 situation. With limited time, Luke, what are you thinking if you're Metamora? Maybe try to air it out a little bit or just kind of ground and pound, see what happens?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Cranford obviously is a great option here, but I really want to see the passing game of Petrie here. He's a dual threat QB, as we said over and over tonight. So let's see that passing side. We've seen the run game early. Let's see the passing side of Petrie. With 2:10 to go, working against the clock. And a 2-for-1 would flip this game on its head after a little as the momentum is on that Dunlap side right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys Petrie has an opportunity to pass to. As we've talked about Pickles, he's had a couple of nice plays. Kylan McMillan, Braden Cox, Braden Bittner. Lots of options. Metamora maybe arguably the deeper team in receivers.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see if they opt to go with that. It's going to be a little bit of a fly ball kick, and it's going to be knee down right around the 30-yard line.
Essentially the same kickoff as last possession for Metamora.
Bittner brought it down and took a knee. So no time comes off the clock, 2:10 and counting.
Yeah, you're talking about those Metamora receivers. Bittner and McMillan, 2 senior receivers who basically have identical stats. 13 catches for Bittner, 15 for McMillan, 323 yards for Bittner, 313 for McMillan, and 3 touchdowns for McMillan and 4 touchdowns for Bittner. So those 2 guys on the edge that are basically identical catching the ball. And then you also have Pickles, who's kind of that third option, just a junior, but we saw him make some tremendous plays early in this game too.
Yeah, it's hard to say third option when you got 3 guys that are pretty similar to one another.
Yep.
Cranford's going to get a handoff, but he is roped down. Huge hit, and a flag comes out after the play. Maybe some extra talking or something.
Yeah.
That was a huge hit, though.
That was a big hit.
Martell Williams on the stop for Dunlap.
And it's going to be a personal foul against Dunlap.
Yeah.
Might have brought him down by the face mask a little bit. So that's a big gain.
Yeah.
And 2:02 still to go. Metamora is in good shape.
Yeah, horse collar or face mask. Oh, late hit right there by number 34.
Yeah, that was
Weifenthaler. He Cranford was clearly down, and he dove in to make that hit. So I bet you that was the personal foul that they were looking at.
good call there, Luke. A lot of bodies were hitting the deck. Love the power of replay, and we get to go back and see that.
Yeah, shout out to our replay crew right there with that one. Unsure on what the call was and got to see it clearly there.
Diefenthaler gets the penalty. Petrie's going to drop back. He's going to air one way out down the field. Is it caught? It is caught! What a throw-in catch. Is that one well into the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Puts Metamora in good shape.
And that was McMillan there on that sideline. What a throw there from Petrie, right on stride for McMillan, who just had to bring it in over the shoulder. And what a route there. McMillan beating his defender for a nice catch on the sideline.
So out of bounds, and hardly any time has come off the clock. So really good shape for the Redbirds. Talked about maybe the passing game would come alive, and it did right there.
Yeah.
Lots of time. Still a couple of timeouts for Metamora to use if they need it. Petrie's going to keep it himself. Lowers the shoulder, able to get forward for a few yards.
Yeah, Petrie does that quite a bit. When he's running, he lowers that shoulder. Probably trying to take away the defender going for his legs, probably lowering that shoulder. But we've seen him do it a few times, so saw him do it on that touchdown. But he's a dynamic runner with the ball. Thought we might see Cranford there with the amount of time that's come off the clock, but looking at like a minute 30 here, so.
Yeah, they're probably going to just try to play this one right down to the final horn. Don't want to give Dunlap any chance at something else on their side. 2nd and 6. Petrie is going to go hand off to Cranford. Stumbles his way ahead. Finally brought down. And it's going to be close to the sticks, maybe a yard short.
I think we're going to see a 3rd down here, but a great run there by Cranford. And Cranford with 10 carries, 71 yards on this game. So he is the engine that runs this Redbird offense. And he has been as advertised, explosive, and hits his gaps well for his running back.
Time ticking away. Heading towards 30 seconds left in the first half. Up the middle, Cranford keeps going. He is very close. Touchdown, Redbirds. Maybe by the nose of the football, he gets it in, and what a response. Metamora takes the lead.
Yeah, and what a run right up the gap, just like we saw on that last play, but enough for the touchdown, and he is limping off the field after that play. Luckily, he can go to the halftime break, but yeah, he's hobbling off the field to the bench there after a great run. That's something that you want to see, but you were talking about that 2-for-1, and they just got the first part of the 2-for-1 with that run right there.
Success, but now you worry about Cranford. As you mentioned, though, that cold weather makes injuries hurt a little more, so maybe something that maybe it was a stinger, you like to call it.
Yeah, so Asherman will be here. Asherman will be in here for this 2-point conversion.
And it's a stoppage. We'll see what we got. It's going to be a timeout. Metamora trying to figure out what they want to do for the 2-point try. Trying to go up by 6. But how about that drive for the Redbirds as we get a look at Cranford? Maybe just twisted an ankle or something.
Yeah, kind of what it's looking like.
Hopefully not too serious for him. We'll keep you updated on his situation as we get a look at this touchdown run. Just explodes through. Got hit 2-3 times. Finally hit at the end and just twisted around into the end zone, probably twisted an ankle.
Yeah, he got rolled up on there by that Dunlap defender, but a tough run again for Cranford.
Still enough time for the celebration, though.
Yeah. Got to get that one in. The adrenaline's still pumping. Got to hit that celly.
Got a little celebration and then quickly hobbled off the field.
Yeah.
As it's still going to be Cranford-less on the 2-point try, still getting checked out. It's going to be Petrie trying to keep it himself. He is going to get in for it. They have been unstoppable in those 2-point tries, 2 for 2. And it's going to be a 6-point lead for Metamora with 29 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, and a well-balanced drive right there. We saw that long pass to McMillan all across the sideline to kind of jumpstart that drive. And then some great runs by Petrie and by Cranford
Metamora scoring
to secure the
drive,
6-point lead going into halftime, and they will receive the ball.
1 minute 41 seconds. A 9
Petrie,
yard
once
touchdown
again,
run
got
by
hit
Cade
2-3 times
Yeah.
and just
And a 2-point conversion
lots
by
of
Stevenson.
upper body tackles, and I think he's proven you're not going to bring him down, hitting him on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Pretty sizable quarterback.
Yeah, 5'11", 200 they have him listed at, so
29
not
seconds
small
left
by
in the
any
first half.
means.
The score becomes
Definitely probably spends a lot of time in the weight
Dunlap
room.
10.
Yeah.
As now Dunlap, we'll see what they do. How do you go with this one, Luke? You play it a little risky or just keep it conservative, lick your wounds and head to halftime?
Receive the kickoff.
If I'm Dunlap, I'm just kind of crisis contain here. You're already down 6, don't want to throw a pick 6 or something like that, or fumble or anything like that. If I'm Coach Kaz, I'm just calling a handoff here and just going into halftime down 6.
See what they do after the kickoff. It's going to be returnable at about the 30-yard line. Breaks through and going to be just short of the 45. A flag comes in.
That was Schmick right there on the return.
On the stop, Jack
See what the
Back.
flag brings. If it's positive for Dunlap, could change their game plan a little bit. If it's negative, probably going to err more on the conservative side. It's going to be on the Redbirds, so it'll be a few extra yards added. We'll see if this affects what they try to do.
Yeah, Landon Grant is their kicker. He's pretty solid. I watched him kick a game-winning field goal against Pekin, or excuse me, I think it was Morton. Earlier this season, and so maybe he could be a guy that they could try to go to here, try to get some good field goal position to set him up. Try to cut this lead to 3.
So 24 seconds.
Sideline infraction to call against Metamora.
It was a sideline infraction on the penalty. Didn't get a
Dunlap.
official word. Now we got it. Right at midfield. See what they go with. Trips on the far side. It is going to be a pass. Tyra steps up in the pocket. Finally has to get rid of it. Got a man. It's caught. And they're going to keep him in bounds. That clock will keep running after the chains are reset.
Pass complete to
It's going to be a
Jackson
timeout here probably by Dunlap. Got 3 to work with.
So Dunlap will burn a timeout. 14 seconds. It looks like they are going to go on more the aggressive side.
Yeah, great catch there by Stefan as we see
Timeout called by
nice
Dunlap.
play here by Tyra to make something happen.
Metamora, 32
Kind of just
yards.
throws that one up there. Stefan's open. Trying to get out of bounds, but good job by the Metamora defender to kind of keep him in there.
Enough time for maybe 2 or 3 more plays, so got to dial up a shot, but he mentioned maybe another big play could get them in the field goal range.
Yep.
Metamora trying to play contain, though. Had some pressure on the last pass. Tyra, great pocket awareness, though, stepped up.
Yeah, Dunlap has looked great earlier in this game. Obviously down 6, but has had some really solid possessions. Seen a mix of both the run game and the pass game. Obviously, the run game has been the most successful for the Eagles tonight. But seen some great passes here by Tyra early or in this first half,
Dunlap.
and maybe see his arm a little bit more late with 14 seconds to go.
14 and a half to go. Tyra steps back, once again gonna throw it. He's got lots of open space. Flag comes out late. Believe it's gonna be coming back as a hold.
Quarterback keeper Tyra. Flag
And
play at the
definitely
45
coming
yard
back.
Yeah, the Metamora coordinators up in the box here started freaking out, calling for a hold, and they got their call there right around that 45-yard line.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was a good call.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the half right there.
And you see that right tackle, yeah, definitely holding on the backside, not quite a pancake block.
Yep. Yeah.
As it looked like Barbarinas was trying to get around the edge, rather Puntoni was on the other end of that penalty. So probably just going to run it out, take a knee. After what looked like maybe some promise for the Eagles. As it looks like Nick Dolinsky on the sideline calling for just some prevent.
Yeah. Guard the end zone. That's where they're going here if they do anything with this play, but I think it's probably going to be a kneel.
Dunlap will take the timeout before this final play. And to me, it seems like they might be trying to dial up something tricky here, take a shot. I guess I'm here for it.
Yeah, make it an entertaining game, that's for sure.
No complaints from me. Look at Brett Caslett. Those numbers, obviously prior to this season happening, so he's 99 wins, but coming into this season, 93 and 53. Very positive record. He's taken them to some playoffs.
Yeah, just a great coach for this team and a great leader for his guys. Love talking to him, love interviewing him every time. And another positive season for this Dunlap program.
Definitely one of their more talented squads to recent memory, and that's a hard thing to do for the Eagles.
Yeah.
So 4 seconds left. It's going to be trips on the far side. Final play, prevent all the way back. Tyra right around midfield, surveys where the defenders are. Now he's just going to launch it. This one heading right towards the end zone, tipped up in the air, and it's going to be intercepted. Now Metamora is going to try to make something happen. There's a flag that comes out. 2 flags that come out. Still on the run back. Petrie's got it. He's going to come up the near side. Needs a couple of blocks. And finally going to get brought down. Won't matter.
Yeah.
Little momentum shift there, though, as it'll be a takeaway for Metamora into the halftime locker room.
Yeah, we'll see what the flag is here. Almost if you're Metamora, you kind of want your quarterback to go down there. Try not to risk injury or anything like that. But great run there by Petrie and a great interception.
You get a look at the final play. As we figured he was just going to launch it, maybe looking for a tip ball. Way high up in the air. What an arm.
Moon ball.
Threw that about 50 yards nearly. Tipped up and lots of red jerseys.
Yeah, you're almost just like go down right there. But that's tough for a player. I mean, if I was in that spot, I'm trying to go back for a pick 6, that's for sure. But
yeah, it would have been a big game changer if it was able to happen. But got to think that there's some more positive momentum as you see Metamora heads into their locker room for halftime. It's been an entertaining first half so far, Luke. Maybe some general takeaways. We'll get a little more into the deep stuff of this first half, but general takeaways so far.
Yeah, my general takeaway has been the run game for both teams. Obviously, Cranford was the star coming in, but these two Dunlap running backs, Dietz and Schmick, have done a great job carrying this offense. And then obviously the play by Stephen Petrie has really impressed me so far. He's been a great job using his legs, scoring one touchdown and a 2-point conversion, two 2-point conversions to lead his team to a 6-point lead at the half. And we've only seen just a little bit from Sutter with just that one catch over the middle. But I'm sure we'll see more of him in that second half.
Certainly will. Both teams will have a chance to draw it up. But we got a break. Let you know who our game is brought to you by tonight. If you need help reaching your financial goals and planning for the future, give Josh Rickena a call at Country Financial. You can call him at 309-689-3161 or visit his office in North Peoria just south of Dunlap. Also brought to you by CSM Overtime. You can subscribe today to CSM Overtime for all the latest in high school sports. Cover just about everything in Central Illinois, over 30 area schools. So if you're a high school sports fan, pretty good chance we've got you covered. Scan the QR code right there or visit clutchsportsil.com/overtime to subscribe today. Well, we got a chance also to let you know if you would like to advertise with Clutch Sports Media. You can see your name and your logo right there on our screen on our social media platforms. Thousands and thousands of high school sports fans from across the Central Illinois would love to see your brand, your product, or your business. So you can reach out to Clutch Sports Media, clutchsportsil@gmail.com, or go through a contact form on the website. We'd love to partner with your business. Playoff time around the corner. Definitely going to be a lot of people tuning in for high school football playoffs, and we'll kind of start with that here at halftime, Luke. High school playoffs right on the way. 1 week from now, we'll have a lot of teams from Central Illinois playing in the postseason. should be a good one. We'll get into some specifics, but what do you look for just as a whole from Central Illinois? It's just been a fantastic season, lots of teams representing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great playoffs in this Mid-Illini. Washington obviously is the juggernaut, undefeated in conference, beat both of these teams, shut down Metamora, held them to 21-0 victory in earlier in this season, then also beat Dunlap. So they're kind of the person that everyone's kind of going for. But these two teams, especially Metamora, is competing for a good playoff victory. And then Dunlap obviously not out of it yet. A win here would boost their season for sure. Having them host a home playoff game would be a big, big result for this team.
Yeah, you definitely want to host if at all possible, especially early in the postseason. You're still getting your legs under you. You need that home crowd to back you up. You're seeing teams that maybe never seen before. You know, lots of teams coming from maybe even as much as 2 or 3 hours away, sometimes even more. So big if you can host, but both teams got to be happy just to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's definitely a big thing. You mentioned some of those other teams. Morton has also clinched playoffs, and a couple teams going at one another tonight, East Peoria and Pekin. The winner of that game will be 5-4. In the playoffs, the loser will find their season over.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep tabs on that. Lots of good stuff in the Big 12, though. Peoria High, Normal Community. That's our other game of the week on CIProud.com. Can tune in with that game. Huge one out of the Big 12.
Yeah.
As there's several teams coming from that. A couple teams from Normal, Peoria High as well. We're pretty used to seeing both of those squads. You think we got a team capable of maybe heading to Illinois State for the state championship this year?
Yeah, for sure. Out of this local area, I think Normal Community and Washington are definitely two teams that definitely could make it. Peoria High, I watched one of their games. They're a dynamic football team, a lot of athletes all over the place. And I think they're a team also, if they catch fire, they can make it to the playoffs, go to that state championship. But I think this Peoria area has a lot of candidates that could do some great things in the playoffs for sure.
Certainly. Get a look at some scores around the area as we get them to come in. Not always totally up to date, but we'll work with what we got. Canton up on Limestone in the second quarter, 16-12. Morton giving Washington a little bit of a fight, but Washington still in front, 35-21. A huge scoring game there in the first half in Morton. Peoria High up a leg on Normal Community, 22-14 at the half. Muhammad Seymour up big on Richwoods in the third quarter, 49-7. Small school Princeville up 40-0 over United Monmouth. It's a big one. Speaking of Princeville, if you're a high school football fan, might as well help the own out here in Central Illinois. Princeville's on a bit of a contest to win $1 million. How's $1 million sound, Luke? That sounds pretty good to
great,
me.
Awesome.
That $1 million would go to helping their football program. Part of the T-Mobile Friday Night Lights competition, and as our producer Josh Messenger just tells me, the final day to vote for Princeville. They're one of the 25 teams remaining in the country, the only team in Illinois to have made it. So we'll give the Princes some love. If you get a chance to vote, don't know what the exact link, but I'm sure if you just search up Princeville T-Mobile contest in your Google search bar, I'm sure something will come up. It's all over social media, so help out Central Illinois. Got to stick together when they're not playing each other, that's for sure. But they're up big winners, rather in front at the moment. Luke, as we get some other scores coming in, appreciate the assist there. Champaign Central up on Manual 33-8. That one is at halftime. Normal Community up huge on, or rather Normal U-High up on Lanphier 39-6. Get some other scores from the area. Looks like it's Anwan Weathersfield up 50-7 over Astoria. Illini West currently just in front of Elmwood Brimfield 28-24. Lots of small school action going on. Again, as we mentioned, that other game on CIProud.com, 22-14. Peoria High in front at halftime, so go catch our guys at Peoria Stadium. But we're here at Malone Field tonight, kind of diving back in to our first half of action, recapping Metamora and Dunlap. Get some stats there. got some live stats. Don't generally have that, so we're happy to have that tonight.
Super nice. Yeah.
What did we look for in the first half, though?
Yeah, Cranford had a great half. He was as advertised. He's the load of this offense. Cranford had 69 rush yards in that first quarter and had a great first half in general, along with Petrie having 15 rush yards in that first quarter. And then Dunlap, a great first half as well.
Again, our live stats loaded up here, but nevertheless, Luke, it was obviously back and forth. You kind of see how it went for both sides. As, you know, Petrie had a big throw at the end of the first half that ended up leading to a touchdown.
Yeah.
Talk about those game-changing plays, right? You need to have kind of those big defining moments. I think both teams kind of had at least one or two aside. Redbirds able to get the first score, putting them in front in that back-and-forth battle. But I think you just need more of those big, booming plays to get yourself going. Otherwise, you're probably not going to find the scoreboard much.
Yeah, we've seen Dunlap utilize that strategy a little bit more in this game. They've got 109, basically even for both teams, 120 yards to 119, 2 touchdowns for Metamora, but they have had the penalties Achilles heel, which has kind of been a Dunlap narrative this season. They've had penalty struggles, but so far in this first half, it's been Metamora. But going back to what you said, those chunk game-changing plays, Dunlap has had a few of those. We saw that run by Schmick up the middle, and we saw that great pass by Sutter over the middle at the beginning there. But then on the other side, we've seen Metamora utilize those as well. That long pass on the sideline to McMillan was a great chunk play. But for them, it's been a little bit more methodical. They've kind of just worked their way up the field, used their run game, used their legs to score those touchdowns. And for both teams, I think it was a positive first half. If you're Dunlap, you would have wanted to hope to get one more stop out of your defense there, but I still think putting up 10 points against this team, this Metamora team, is still a pretty good first half. And now the job comes to, can you stop them out of their first possession, out of the gun, to stop that 2-for-1?
No doubt about that. So you get a look there at the first half stats. Go to some individual player stats, starting with Metamora. Again, it was 12 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown for Jadon Cranford, who came up a little bit limp. Didn't look like anything too serious, but something to keep an eye on for sure. Stephen Petrie, 6 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown on the ground, as well as a couple 2-point conversions. Certainly cannot forget about that. Only 2 passes completed, but for 53 important yards, as Kylan McMillan accounted for most of those, 35 yards. Jason Pickles also a reception for 18 yards. On the other side for Dunlap, running the ball was their bread and butter, as it has been so many times. Jaden Schmick, 6 carries, 66 yards, so 11 yards per carry. He's got a touchdown. Blake Dietz, 6 carries also for 32 yards. Truman Tyra, 4 carries, 18 yards on the ground. For the air game, Truman Tyra, 4 of 9 in the air. He's got 48 yards, so didn't have a ton of success passing. Wasn't able to hook up with Max Sutter much. Sutter just 1 reception for 16 yards. Currently leading the team, though, it's Jackson Steffen. He's got 2 receptions, 22 yards. And Kenyon Gillespie hauled in 1 pass for 10 yards in the first half. So it was a good first half for sure. Get a quick break, come back, reset a little bit here as the Metamora Band continues their halftime performance. We'll be back with some more scores, more stats, and everything from the second half of Metamora and Dunlap. Don't go anywhere. You're watching high school football on Clutch Sports Media.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. After
4 years of preps coverage in Central Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is ready for a new era. CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams,
Your stories.
Your stats and standings.
your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts.
As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds.
CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action.
More stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
Welcome back to Malone Field. 6 minutes to go in halftime before players head back out for warm-ups. Week 9 action. It's great football here on Clutch Sports Media. Thanks for joining us alongside Luke Young. It's Gavin Russell, and let's take a look at the first half highlights. Lots of big plays. What do you see, Luke?
Yeah, it's a lot of good run plays by the quarterbacks and the running backs. We see Petrie here diving forward for a good first down. We see a lot of that in this game. And then it was the story of that first quarter. Cranford to the outside as we see him move through a bunch of defenders. And there, yeah, that 15-yard stiff arm that he had going there as we saw him break for some good runs. And then that first touchdown, the break open, the scoring, we see Petrie lower that shoulder for that touchdown. And then a nice run here by Tyra to get forwards for a crucial first down in that first half. And then a deep shot. And that could have been a penalty there, but nothing going there. And this was the big run that had Dunlap swing the momentum there by Schmick for that touchdown, 43-yard touchdown. And then this was Dietz up ahead for a first down. And then the deep play to McMillan by Petrie to the sideline, kind of opening up that late first half surge by Metamora. And then this was the touchdown by Cranford near the end as he rolls in for the touchdown. And we saw him walk off hobbly there. But here is the 2-point conversion, his second of the game for Petrie. A great running QB. And then there at the end, this was the interception on that. Or excuse me, no, it wasn't. This was the play to Steffen earlier in the half. And then obviously the half ended with the interception for Tyra. But all around a pretty entertaining first half, in my opinion.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. That's kind of the games you like. You know, it's not just run, run, run. We got some passes in there as well. As you mentioned, a lot of tricky RPOs. So you get the QB comp, Truman and Petrie getting it done right there. We talked about some of those stats. Pretty similar in terms of passing yards, although Tyra has thrown the ball quite a bit more times. It's about 50-50 right there. Both getting it done with the legs. As Petrie has the touchdown instead of Truman. Got it backwards right there. But nevertheless, a very similar first half for both quarterbacks.
Yeah, Petrie's got that touchdown. Also, Truman has the interception as well. I think that's what we're looking at there. And then, yeah, the rush yards has been the story for both QBs. They both have low numbers in terms of rush yards, but it feels like a lot more. It feels like every yard that both of them get is pretty crucial. And that interception stat for Tyra is kind of misleading. It was just a Hail Mary at the end. So that'll go down in the stat sheet as an interception, but
yeah, not one of those that's, you know, in normal game action, kind of a asterisk, if you will, next to it. to an otherwise very clean season. Hasn't turned the ball over too much. As Metamora heads back onto the field for their warm-ups. Our entire Clutch Sports media crew out here with you tonight, and we'll have playoff action coming at your way. Got to wait and see who's playing each other and where they're playing at. There's several teams in that list right there that could be in the postseason. Washington, Metamora, Morton, Dunlap will all for sure be representing, and it's going to either be Pekin or East Peoria sneaking their way in. So 5 teams out of the Mid-Illini, a number out of the Big 12. Lots of great small school teams.
Yep.
DMAC to Princeville, Farmington. I mean, we just got a lot of teams. Take your pick.
Yeah.
And quite a few of them will probably be hosting games. Not a lot of teams that will be going on the road for the first week of the playoffs. Central Illinois dominance coming through.
Yeah, for sure. Washington, Metamora, and maybe even Dunlap will all host a home playoff game. Metamora for sure, if they win this game, will have one. Dunlap, if they win this one, will have a pretty good case as well.
Yeah, you definitely like playing at home to start things out, as that's a near look at the almost final standings. Putting a bow on it tonight, the Washington, if they can hold serve and win, they will outright win the Mid-Illini Conference title at 7-0. Had a blip early on, but so far for the Panthers, it's been very, very good. Metamora red hot since they played the Panthers. As we get a look at the overall schedule from the season, again, had that kind of 24-0 blip, but since then it has been just electric from Metamora. They have hit their stride at the right time, and they're trying to take all sorts of momentum into the postseason.
Yeah, and I asked Coach Delinsky about that. Was kind of the turning point for the season, that they needed to get players in better situations and find the strengths for these players and help his kids win, he said. And that was the flip, and after that, they've been unstoppable.
Lots of big numbers all over that. A couple 60-plus point efforts, both on the road, mind you. Maybe not against the top teams in the conference, but that's a lot of points nonetheless away from home. As you can look now at Dunlap's schedule, kind of a little bit of a difference. They started out red hot, pretty much unstoppable. They pitched 3 shutouts within that early part of the season, but then they've lost their last 2. But as you see, 8 points and then 1 point, so they've lost their games by combined 9 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as close as you're probably going to get it. They'd like to kind of turn that around. You really don't want to lose 3 straight going into the postseason.
Yeah, for sure. And this, you're talking about momentum. This is the biggest momentum game of the season so far for them. They win this game, and this season the taste of this season kind of gets turned on its head. They're going into the playoffs with a big win. And I was at that 28-7 Pekin game. That was a really good game that went to overtime. So that was a good win for them. Trying to pull out another one right here.
Yeah, definitely kind of a back-heavy schedule for Dunlap. Some of the more favorable matchups early on. They took care of business, did their thing, and obviously running into some really good teams. But you probably like that if you're Brett Castle.
Yeah.
You're testing yourself several weeks in a row right up to the playoffs. You know, you might not love having easy weeks going into the playoffs. Maybe no matter how hard you try, your team's going to be a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
But they've been on their toes for the whole month of October, playing some stellar programs.
Yeah, my favorite thing that Brett Caslett said in this week's interviews is says, you want your last game to be your best game. And I think he's trying to put together this type of performance, and you're right, they had some favorable matchups early, and now they're really testing themselves in these late games. And Metamora's probably one of their biggest tests outside of Washington and on that schedule. And Coach Cass is looking for their best game. Let's see if they can put it together here in this second half.
Let's look at some keys for the second half. Luke, what do you think may be a key for each team? What's going to lead them to victory if they follow? Yeah,
for Metamora defensively, they just got to cut down on. They just got to cut that run game a little bit. Both of those running backs had big moments for Dunlap, and so bottling up those holes, stopping the running backs at the line is going to be a big one. And then for Dunlap, it's going to be how healthy is Jadon Cranford, obviously, but I think those Metamora receivers are going to be a big problem in this second half. We might see them, especially if Dunlap closens up this game, we'll see those Metamora receivers all over the field, and I think that secondary for Dunlap is going to be put to test, and we'll see Petrie unleash the arm a little bit.
There's a look at Petrie. surveys. It's going to be Dunlap to kick off the second half. Stephen Petrie all over the place. That interception was not a thrown interception. That was him getting it done on defense.
Yeah.
So he has stuffed the stat sheet tonight, getting it done both ways.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that like, wait a second, he didn't throw an interception, did he? No, that was a Travis Hunter type play, catching that on defense. And yeah, what a great first half from him on both sides of the ball.
That's a big compliment. Heisman NFL player.
Yeah.
That's some big stuff right there. Similar style player as Petrie, but it'll be Redbird football to start out half number 2. The final half of the regular season is underway. It's going to be a little pooch kick, a little bit of a return, and just short of midfield. So pretty good field position for Metamora as they'll get things rolling. Cares to see Jadon Cranford.
Yeah.
If he's 100% to go, he was out there on the kickoff.
Yeah, and he looks like the limp is gone there, and he runs back to the sideline. But we see Pickles there with that return. He is quick off of the line, and so I hope to see more of those receivers, as I said, in the second half. Pickles had some highlight plays. That one nice play right here on that left side early in that half.
Had a couple others that, unfortunately for him, got negated by penalties.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Lots of penalties in the first half. They like to clean that up. Here's Cranford, first down. Got bottled up, falls forward.
Probably going to get about 2 yards there. But Cranford, yeah, 12 carries, 85 yards, 1 touchdown in that first half. So, I mean, that's an exceptional first half for a running back, and you got to be happy if you're Coach Dolinski with your senior running back.
Yeah, he's going to be all over for Northern Illinois, whatever role he ends up filling.
Yeah.
I definitely think he's got the makings to be a guy that impacts very early in his career. Potentially, he could even play himself up into a higher level after a couple seasons at FCS. It's going to be a pass here on second down, but it's picked off. It's Max Sutter. Sutter going the distance. Will he get there? He will. Pick 6 touchdown.
Oh, what a play there from Sutter, known as a tight end. But off the edge, gets an interception and shows the speed. And there you go, Gavin. That's that play that can turn this game around. We saw Metamora with some of that momentum. But Sutter takes that momentum right back to the Eagles with a great pick 6 right there.
Second play from scrimmage in the second half. It's a pick 6 from the defensive end, Mac Sutter. Wow.
Yeah, showing right there why he's the #1 player in Illinois.
Don't look away for too long. You might miss something big right there. We'll get another look at that after the point after try. It's bobbled. Got to try to make something out of it. And it's going to be blown up, mishandled, so it'll be a tie ball game.
Yeah.
But Dunlap still feeling real good.
Yeah, what a play there from Sutter. So 16-16 is your score. Not many times do we see a defensive end get a interception there.
Very Khalil Mack-esque for Bears fans out there. One of the last good years the Bears have had, 2018. I remember a very similar play.
Yeah.
He pulled off against the Green Bay Packers. Not going to start any NFL wars
here on
our stream
so
tonight. We're in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, we can stop that one right there. We got a great game in front of us, don't we?
I'd probably lose that battle. As we'll get back to the game, look at the interception. Just read it perfectly. He saw his eyes. Obviously a tremendous athlete. He wasn't going to be brought down or denied. A little bit of a stiff arm at the end and falls forward. What a huge pick 6.
Yeah, so now Petrie's got an interception on both sides, throwing and catching. So a rare stat line kind of there for this Metamora quarterback, and he's going to get a second chance here to prove himself. Almost like, kind of like that first half ended tied, basically, is what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Basically just a restart for the Cardinals, but now tied at 16.
So 16 all. As Dunlap back kicking it off. This one's going to fall right around the 25-yard line. It's going to be Pickles once again, but he doesn't get much of a return this time. And he'll be short of the 30-yard line. As just over a minute ran off the clock. 16-16. What do you do here, Luke? You know, kind of an unfortunate situation. Petrie throwing the pick.
Yeah.
You go back to the air game, just got to trust your stuff or maybe try to work in some more runs.
I kind of like going back to the air. I mean, like, that was almost just a rare play by a great player. I would not be discouraged if I'm Petrie here to go back to the air.
See what they go with. They will try to hand it off to start with, but Cranford maybe gets only a yard or two.
Cranford off the right side for Metamora.
So it looks like they'll be content to start running the ball.
Wrapped up by Charles Piazzi.
Anybody's game still. Makes that touchdown at the end of the first half even bigger for Metamora.
Yeah. Yeah, if that interception would have happened without the touchdown at the end, this could be a totally different ball game for the Redbirds.
Talking about those big momentum plays, both sides have had them. Who's going to get the last laugh is the question. Cranford, he's going to cut back, made a couple moves. He gets through in space, and it's a big first down run for Jadon Cranford.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous play right there. Kind of looked like it was about to be a dead play going to the outside. Cuts back, very patient right there. Cuts back to the middle, and a chunk play here for the Redbirds.
Cranford able to move the sticks.
Cranford over 100 yards on the night.
Metamora probably just, no worries, just keep the ball moving. Still a tie game. They got helped by the misplayed extra point attempt by Dunlap.
Yeah, and Cranford up over 106 yards exactly. Thanks for our live stats right there.
It's going to be a keeper. Petrie up the middle, just going forward. Drugged forward by the defender, and another first down for the Redbirds.
Yeah, and that's that RPO game that Coach Delinsky was talking about. He talks about how Cranford's really a team player. He loses some carries thanks to their RPO scheme, and we see it right there. Petrie effective going up the middle, and he is lightning quick for our quarterback.
You got to get a little more momentum back on your side for Stephen Petrie. Kind of trying to wipe away the memory of that pick six we saw just a moment ago.
Yeah, scoring a touchdown on this possession would definitely help with those bad memories.
Petrie, he's going to throw it. It's going to be a little screen pass. See if he gets a block. Cranford gets a little space to run. Still going, and another gain right around the stick. So 3 plays in a row of about 10 yards or so.
Yeah, so those are the type of plays that you want to see if you're Coach Delinsky. And I kind of like getting Cranford to the outside on those screen passes. Helps the speed, gets his speed built up before he hits the defenders and makes some nice moves to get about 9 yards on that play.
Putting some stress on the Dunlap linebacking crew that's been pretty solid most of the season, but probably one of their biggest threats tonight. Putting a lot on their shoulders, trying to stop the dynamic Jadon Cranford. Ball is moving for Metamora. It's going to be a pass. Petrie's got to roll out with it. He's going to stay on his feet somehow and able to get back to roughly the line of scrimmage. Might be just a hair short of the first down. Looked like he was about to be sacked, though.
Yeah, I'm continuously impressed by Stephen Petrie in this game. That is a near 5-yard loss on a sack right there with Max Sutter chasing you. Does a great job avoiding 2 defenders, getting back to the line of scrimmage and negating some of that negative yardage that could have happened on that play.
I definitely think the life of a pass rusher has become tenfold harder.
Yeah,
everywhere in football. Less Peyton Manning type quarterbacks.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, more Lamar Jacksons in the game today, and that keeps you running quite a bit. Handoff, Cranford. He was met at the line, but he's falling forward for looks like to be enough for a first down.
Down near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good point, Gavin. You don't see many quarterbacks nowadays who can't move with their feet. And, yeah, it makes good edge rushers ever so valuable, and that's what we kind of see from Max Sutter. Not his main position, obviously, but a great secondary position for this Dunlap defense.
I think a lot of teams nowadays, when guys come in as freshmen and sophomores to the high school level, they're just picking 2 or 3 best athletes and trying them out at quarterback and seeing who sticks.
Yeah.
That's the game plan for many. Petrie's going to keep it again himself. Got wrapped up by the feet that time, and that worked.
Yeah.
Definitely lower body tackles seem to be the answer.
Yeah, and Petrie didn't even go down there. And but stopping momentum, and great stand right there by the Dunlap defense on that first down.
Looks like Jasper Williams, the junior. Williams and Alex Welch are the two guys right up the gut on that Metamora Dunlap D line.
Yeah, we kind of seen some of the similar sort of plays on every single possession here from Metamora. It's been a lot of Cranford to the outside and Petrie up the middle for a majority of their offensive plays. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right, Gavin?
That's the point right there. You got it. 2nd and 10. Over the middle, wide open. It's Bittner. Touchdown, Redbirds. Braden Bittner hauls it in wide open, and a strike from Stephen Petrie puts them back in front.
Yeah, what a throw there from Petrie. Bittner improves to 5 touchdowns on the season, and he's kind of opening up this game here for this Redbird offense. What a great route up the middle and a great throw there from Petrie for the touchdown.
So Petrie erases that pick 6 with a positive touchdown this time. The kick is up and it is good. It'll be a 23-16 lead for Metamora, and that's exactly what you want to do for Nick Dolinsky's squad.
Yeah, interesting they didn't go for 2 there, but opting for the point after for 23-16. And yeah, if you're Coach Dolinsky, now you can see your quarterback has confidence now. After throwing that pick 6, a deep shot to the end zone is exactly what you need to bring back some of that confidence, as I said, for Petrie.
Dunlap's offense still yet to hit the field, but here's Metamora's offense. Get a little man in motion. As you mentioned, a lot of similar formation. Petrie, great eyes, puts just enough air under that and beat 3 defenders.
Yeah.
What a play, what a great route from Braden Bittner.
Yeah, great speed on that deep route.
So now the Dunlap offense with their first go at it. They've been sitting for a while.
Yep.
6 minutes so far in this half, plus a couple minutes going back to the first half, so they should be fresh and well rested. We'll see if they tighten up, though, with the cold. Can't sit for too long. Another short kick. Gonna try to get a return out of this. Find some space on the far side, but it's brought down. It looked like that was once again Braden Bittner getting in on the tackle.
Yeah, great play there by Caden Wooden to take that ball all the way to the outside. Switching the field instantly, not. Metamora defenders were not ready for that one.
So Metamora brings him down by the ankle and puts it about the 45-yard line. Dunlap offense back out. Blake Dietz will be the first man in the backfield as they go with the heavier set. It's going to go back to Dietz. Sutter step forward for about 5 yards.
Yeah, great play there by Dietz to work up there. And those heavy sets by Dunlap, they just know they're coming. There's really nothing you can do about it almost every single time. So if I'm Coach Kaz, I'm going to keep going back to that. And I think that's what they've been doing all season. And nothing's going to change in Week 9. Both of these coaches told me in their interviews, there's no secrets anymore. They have 8 weeks of film for these teams. And we're seeing it tonight. Teams sticking with their game plan.
May the best team win. We'll see what happens. Tyra keeps it himself. Improvised a little bit. Will be near a first down, just short. Lots of time left in this ball game, so not of concern yet, but we're moving rather quickly. I gotta say, we've been a part of some pretty long high school football games this season alone in past years. This one we're not even 2 hours into. We're almost in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 2 run heavy football teams, so that clock keeps moving.
Efficient football, lots of great plays. Tyra keeps it himself. He'll have enough for the first down.
Tyra on the carry.
Didn't want to try to bite off more than they could chew. Gets just enough. So he just kind of surveys, not really trying to make a big play. Very patient running.
Yeah, not really trying to explode off the line there, but looking for his spots, watching his blockers, making sure he makes the smart football play, not try to do anything that is too out of his play right there.
I think the vision for both sides has been tremendous.
Yeah. Both of these quarterbacks, when they run, they've got great vision.
Most definitely. Great point, Luke. It's going to be a handoff this time, but brought down. Tried to kind of make a jump in the air as Dietz went nowhere.
Yeah, Dietz, interesting choice there. Kind of turned to the side, trying to jump the defenders. We see it right here. You see him kind of turned. Interesting choice to try to go up and over in such a big pile. We kind of usually see that on a sideline play, but tries to go up and over the defender there. Interesting choice there by Dietz.
Looked like Caleb Morrison got him for the slam. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 again. Tyra is going to pass this time. Lets it go over the middle. It's picked off by Cranford. Cranford's got it and he's returning. He gets a couple blocks. He's down the sideline. He's got a couple players to beat, and he'll fall down. A big interception for Jadon Cranford.
And that was the 2 stars of the game going against each other. That was Jadon Cranford guarding Max Sutter. And Cranford comes up with the interception and a huge return. So Cranford, just like Sutter, shows that he can make an impact on the defensive side. Great play from that safety position and a great return from their star running back. Cranford showing the speed there. That's got to be relieving if you're Coach Delinsky. The Metamora coordinators were going crazy up in the box here. That was cool to see.
Yeah, you could feel this Malone press box shaking. The fans, the coordinators, everybody alike that's wearing red was pretty happy about that one. 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go. A flag comes out. Petrie's going to let it fly and nearly picked off. This one should be coming back, though.
Yep.
Pass intended for Kylan McMillan for Metamora. Flag on the play.
Almost lucky that one didn't get picked off.
Yeah, that was dangerous. About triple covered, but it's coming back nonetheless, so not a positive play to start there. Another look there at the interception by Cranford.
I mean, just look at the speed and be able to cover that much ground on the field in that short a time, but read that ball great. A little underthrown there by Tyra. See if Metamora can capitalize here after a 5-yard walk back, 10-yard walk back.
Ashelman was in there, but it's going to be a keeper by Petrie. Almost had an edge on the outside, just got tripped up. He could have had big yardage if it weren't for the hand of a Eagle defender.
Yeah, he could have been touching black turf on that play if it weren't for the trip up there late. And we see Petrie with 9 carries, 35 yards, and 1 touchdown on the game. A dynamic running back or quarterback out of the backfield.
Still got 8 back on the play, so
yep.
Not the worst thing in the world for Metamora. Trying to keep moving the ball after a big interception as a false start. Another penalty going to set them back. And he felt like Dunlap just immediately seized all the momentum. But then after that pick 6 by Max Sutter, it has been all Metamora. They were not phased.
Yeah.
They took a blow, got right up off the mat, and kept going.
Yeah, great resilience from this Metamora team. You're right, Gavin. But to just got to clean these penalties up, and this drive could have been a lot more successful, that's for sure. So after that big play by Petrie, going to have to walk this one back. It's right about where they started.
2nd and 17. Big chance for Dunlap to try and get a stop. It's going to be a keeper, and it's going to be blown up on the play. A whole flock of Eagles gets in there.
Petrie lost on the play.
And then probably didn't get any yardage back to the line of scrimmage. So long 3rd down. I feel like Dunlap can make a stop. Might have a shot to get the ball back. You see here, they read it all the way.
Yeah.
Coming in to get the stop there. Looked like it was Charlie TZ.
3rd down, 17 coming up for the Redbirds.
Yeah, I think that was one of those RPOs, and Petrie really had no good options on that one, so decided to keep it himself and still lost negative yards. Or still got back to the line of scrimmage, actually. Yeah.
3rd and 17. He's going to keep it once again. Stumbles and not able to get much. So 4th and long, probably going to be a punt situation to try and back up Dunlap, as it would put Dunlap in pretty good field position. We'll see what they opt to go with. 54 seconds.
I think Petrie's going to punt this one away.
Looks like they'll be content to just let some time keep ticking away off the clock. If so, it looks like the Eagles will have a chance to start the 4th quarter with the football. So very much in this game, but I don't know. Maybe they are going to go for it.
Maybe they are. Maybe trying to get them off sides before the end of the half. Nope.
They're going to go. It's going to be a pass under some pressure. Petrie, he's going to be, stays on his feet, nearly sacked, makes something happen. Now he's going to try and throw, and he's finally going to be sacked. He escaped 2-3 times, but not quite Houdini. He's finally brought down way back, and Dunlap gets the ball.
Yeah, risky play there by Coach Zielinski as we see it again. Great play here by Petrie to kind of keep this one alive there for a little bit. At that point, you got to let that one go. But it's tough as a quarterback to see no one open downfield, and a great play there by that Dunlap defense. Just kept coming at him.
While we got a change in the possession, we'd like to let you know tonight's game is brought to you by Josh and Holly Rickenaugh, Country Financial. They're proud supporters of Dunlap athletics and high school football. For all your insurance needs, give Josh and Holly a call at 309-689-3161. Final play of the 3rd quarter is going to be a run there by Schmick, and he'll get forward for about 8 yards. So now things back in Dunlap's favor. It's just been back and forth blow after back and forth blow. This has been an exciting football game. Fasten those seatbelts, 4th quarter coming up. As we were mentioning a moment ago, tonight's ball game brought to you by Josh Rickenaugh, Country Financial. Got cut off a little bit short there with the Dunlap possession, but certainly you want to give them a call or stop by their office in North Peoria, just south of Dunlap, for all your financial planning and insurance needs. Again, that's Josh and Holly Rickenaugh. Appreciate having them on board tonight. Huge supporters of high school athletics all throughout Central Illinois, especially Dunlap athletics. Once again, we appreciate them. As well as CSM Overtime. You can subscribe to CSM Overtime today for all coverage of high school sports in Central Illinois. Not just football, but every sport heading into fall season playoffs, as well as winter sports starting to heat up. Basketball, wrestling, and other sports on the way. Definitely looking forward to more high school coverage, and you can follow along with us. You can use the QR code right there on the screen. ClutchSportsIL.com/overtime will get you started today.
It's a great site. I highly recommend.
I would too, Luke. Just about everything you want, daily coverage. You're never going to feel shortchanged with your subscription to Overtime. First play is Schmick. He gets going. Gets a block. He's going to get to the outside. And a flag comes in late. I think this is going to be coming back.
Yeah.
Looked like a block in the back.
Yeah, Schmick before that play, 7 carries for 73 yards. And could have been a lot more, but so you're seeing with a lot of these big plays tonight, coming back because of that yellow flag. And you're right, Gavin. I think this might be a block in the back.
Looked like the receiver on the far side didn't catch the number, but looked like he had kind of that lower end of the back. And that will indeed be the call. That was a huge play to start out the 4th quarter.
Let's take a look at it again here. Once again, that left side gap, and we see number 8.
Boy, that's Steffen.
Yep, number 8. Steffen, who's having a pretty good game, just a little overzealous on the block there, lowering his shoulder into the back of the Metamora defender.
Nevertheless, a first down,
First and 10 for
as
them.
the penalty obviously occurred far after the sticks, but didn't get quite as much yardage off of it. First down run, immediately a flag comes out, probably once again on the offensive line.
Yeah, that was Dietz on that one who was fast off the line there. But once again, we see a flag here.
This might be really the only thing holding back this Dunlap offense at this point. Been kind of those self-mistakes, turnovers and penalties. That's every coach is going to tell you probably their two least favorite things.
Yeah, for sure. Penalties are just so disheartening after a big play. And 9 penalties for Metamora on this game compared to Dunlap's 5. So 14 total penalties in this game, and it's been felt. Every time I feel like there's momentum, one of those flags comes in. It's just those mental mistakes you got to clean up to take yourself to that next level as a team.
And another flag comes out. Dunlap confused.
Flag on the play.
Sideline warning, maybe?
We'll see what they call. I believe this might be going back on Dunlap. And it's going to be ineligible substitution on the Eagles. So now it's just raining and pouring flags. 3 straight plays going backwards.
And Dunlap's basically to where they started after that Petrie sack. A lot of great offense to get forwards after that, take advantage of this field position, and now we're right back to where we started.
So first and a country mile.
First down, 25.
Coincidence we have Country Financial on board with us tonight, but not the country Dunlap is looking for. They got first and 25 to go, so they'll do well to try and just tear off a chunk here. Metamora in good shape. It's going to be a pass immediately, a blitz, and it's blown up, but Schmick stays on his feet. He's going to just be back to the line of scrimmage. Red jerseys all over it.
Yeah, nice screenplay called there by Coach Kaz. Had potential to work. They pulled those 2 offensive linemen on that outside, as you see. And then great job by Schmick to stay up, but not much going there. Runs into like 8 red shirts after that initial hit.
Yeah, it looked like the Redbirds just threw the house. They were expecting perhaps a run, or maybe they were expecting the screen pass. Didn't work so much there as they gained 1 yard, so second and 24.
Second down, 24.
10 minutes to go, and the way the clock's been moving in this game, they need to get something going in a hurry. Tyra nearly sacked, nearly ran into his own guy, running away. Gillespie was overthrown as he was kind of cross-body throwing that, a very tough one to make. And now it's third and 24.
Yeah, great pocket presence there by Tyra to avoid that sack. And then Gillespie just couldn't bring that in, just a little high on the throw. Also great defense by that cornerback for Metamora. And yeah, long third down here. Gonna need a serious chunk play to get back into some sort of field goal range or manageable fourth down if you think about going for it.
Yeah, I think if they can get this anywhere near the first down to gain, they might go for it. We'll see what they do. They were just going to hand it off this time, as Dietz will get a healthy amount, but still lots of yardage to go, and it brings up decision time here on fourth down.
Yeah, this is the middle of no man's land. There's not much what you can do here. Obviously going for it's probably one of your last options. Maybe try a little punt to try and pin them in the backfield, but
it'd be 4th and 15, so they have to get a pretty good amount. Not a walk in the park by any means. I think they're going to go for it, though, and I think the fans here in Malone know it, too.
Fourth down and 15.
Biggest play of the ball game coming up right here. Tyra drops back, launches it deep towards the end zone. It's bobbled, not caught, incomplete. He was looking for Max Sutter. Looked like right off the chest, couldn't haul it in. Great defense from Jadon Cranford. Get another look at it right there.
Great defense once again by Cranford, getting his arms up in the hands of Sutter. And once again, Cranford getting the celebration in and then limping afterwards. And I think he's down on the field right now. And a great defensive play right there by Cranford.
Yeah, it was a heck of a defensive play. Once again, still in time for the celebration, but now he's down on the field, so he'll get checked out. Well, we got a break in the action. I'd like to once again thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Josh Rickenaw, Country Financial. It's presented by Josh and his wife Holly of Country Financial. They're proud supporters of Dunlap Athletics and high school football. For all your insurance needs, give Josh and Holly a call at 309-689-3161. You also have his email there right there on the screen, Josh Rickenaw at countryfinancial.com. Metamora anxiously waiting to see what happens with Jadon Cranford, still down on the field, and perhaps that leg he's been kind of nursing an injury on all season long. Gotten banged up a little bit tonight. Maybe that was one that really stung for him as they're trying to help him up.
Yeah, Jadon Cranford has been as advertised on the offensive end. We've seen his running ability. What I wasn't expecting was his ability on the defensive end. We've seen him make two great plays against Max Sutter. But
that didn't look promising. Yeah, definitely in some pain, some discomfort for Cranford, so hoping the best for him. He probably made one of the biggest plays of the game on defense there. He's made a couple tonight on defense. As you see him laboring off the field there. Now, obviously, the hope is not even so much for tonight, but obviously for future weeks. You're going to need him in the playoffs.
Yeah, he is this Metamora offense, so with any hope to success for Coach Zielinski, they're going to need Cranford back.
Still some time to tear off. Ashelman will get the first carry and goes nowhere, so big assignment for the sophomore, who looks like he'll probably be getting majority of the carries the rest of the way, assuming Cranford doesn't bounce back into the game. Still lots of time for Dunlap. They just got to try to get a stop.
Yeah, without Cranford in the game, there's a positive outlook for this Dunlap defense. The biggest guy they have to worry about is out, so maybe Ashelman can make something happen here, getting the carries now.
Ashelman in there still has Petrie to watch out for. Petrie will keep it this time, and he's brought up quickly. He'll get a couple yards to gain. Not much going on. It looks like they're really starting to kind of lock up that middle.
Jaden Schmick with the tackle right there. So he also plays linebacker. A lot of two-way players in this game. We just saw Cranford make the great defensive play, and then Schmick, who also plays on the defensive end for Dunlap, is one of their starting linebackers along with their running back. So a lot of talent over the field on both sides. Some of those guys are the same players.
Speaking of Cranford, I'm no athletic trainer, but he's getting his left calf worked on with the roller, so it might just be a really bad cramp. Very possible. Could be the case. And off to his counterpart, Ashelman. He's going to get through, and he's going to get enough for a first down. The sophomore comes up big and gets enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, what a run there from Ashelman, dragging defenders with him as he gets a little extra yards after the first down. And Metamora still with some offensive momentum. 7 minutes to go here.
$13 yards on the carry. And they're just going to let time kind of just start to starve away. Nearing the halfway point of the final frame of the regular season.
I bet you Coach Zielinski's going to take this play clock down to as small as it could go for the rest of this game.
Ashelman gets it again. That time he's met. A lot of different Eagles in on that play. It looks like Alex Welch among them.
Second and 10.
Really feels like you can't let Metamora get much farther if you're the Eagles. You got to get the ball back with some time Redbirds in a pretty good spot here by a full 7.
Yeah.
And probably that would be good enough even if Dunlap scored to at least hold serve as a tie.
Yeah, we're going to see some of the passing game hopefully here for Dunlap coming down with this limited time. Passing is not out of the realm of possibility for them. Tyra with 1,137 yards on the season in the air, so passing is definitely not a weakness for them if it comes down to it.
It's going to be Petrie, keeps it again. Maybe gets a yard on the play.
Quarterback keeper Petrie.
Yeah, that play didn't result in a lot of big yards, but I love Petrie's timing on that play, holding that handoff for as long as he could before the option. But Dunlap once again doing a great job cutting off the well there on that run.
So to bring up another 3rd down, Ashelman was able to lumber forward for a sizable game last time. It's 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8.
Dunlap in starting to get the crunch time. They need a stop, but Metamora can really put themselves in good position with a 1st down if they can get it. Crowd comes to life on 3rd. Here's Petrie, he's gonna throw it, and it's caught. Gonna be short of the sticks. A little bit of a comebacker to Bittner. He's made some big catches. It's going to be 4th and short on the other side of midfield. What do you do, Luke?
This is a tough play. What a catch there by Bittner, but if you're Metamora, you get this 1st down, and I'm not going to say the game is over, but that's a huge momentum swinger for you, but I think your defense has held up solid so far. I'm saying go for it if I'm Coach Dolinsky.
Luke Young says go forward and prosper. We'll see if that's what they attempt to do. It looks like they'll let the play clock run off before they make this decision and probably take a timeout. And they will take it. 1 second left on the play clock. It's going to be time to talk it over on probably coming up one of the biggest plays of the game for sure. But before we get there, let's tell you about tonight's sponsor. Need help reaching your financial goals and planning your future? Give Josh Rickena at Country Financial a call. You can call him at 309-689-3161 or just visit his office out in North Peoria, just south of Dunlap. Appreciate Josh and Holly for being on board, supporting high school sports as well as Dunlap athletics. CSM overtime. Also something you probably want to check out, especially this time of year. High school football playoffs coming up and lots of winter sports getting ready to take place. You can use the QR code or go to clutchsportsil.com/overtime for high school sports coverage for 30-plus area schools.
Hey, listen, Gavin, they're going for it.
4th and 4. Cranford back in the game. Petrie will take it himself. He's going to be close. He dives forward. He's at the 40-yard line.
This might be the closest call of the season. I don't think he got enough there.
It's going to be razor thin. Full extension from Stephen Petrie. And Dunlap thinks they have the ball. They do. Turnover on downs by an eyelash.
What a play there by Petrie to try to extend that ball, but then got to give credit to the Dunlap defense right there. Stopping them short. Risky play to go for it. We'll see it again right here. A fake to Cranford, who's back in the game. And the second effort by Petrie just wasn't enough.
It looked like it was Josh Diefenthaler, who's really been the heart and soul linebacker, the senior, leading the team in tackles. He was able to wrap him up and bring him down. Biggest tackle probably of his season.
Yeah.
Maybe career.
Yeah, that was a great play right there, wrapping up and a pretty elusive guy.
4 minutes to go for Dunlap to try and do something. Schmick's going to get a good run here on 1st down, and he pushed forward for about 11.
Yeah, we're looking for the yellow flags on this play, on this possession here for Dunlap. They've struggled with penalties all season, and if this would be the #1 possession if you're Coach Kaz to not have penalties on this.
Got 49 yards to try and get this one to a tie. It would, of course, also assume they're able to get a PAT off. They already missed one of those in this game. Tyra's going to pass this time. It's a screen. Gets it back to Schmick. Schmick blown up, probably for about a loss of 1.
Yeah, Metamora's been great job on the screens so far in this game. We've seen the last 2 screens get blown up instantly.
On the stop, Jadon Cranford.
And Jadon Cranford with the tackle there, so he is back in this game after a kind of a scary limp off the field, but got to give him credit getting back in.
Don't count Cranford out. Here's going to be a keeper. Tyra, he's hit once. He'll get a couple yards back, but it's going to be 3rd and long. Definitely 4-down territory, but this is a big play coming up. Metamora's defense trying to hold.
Yeah, if you're Metamora's defense, this is the play right here. This could flip and really put the odds in your favor if you get a stop here. And if I'm Coach Kaz, this is 4-down territory.
3rd down and 8. 3rd and 8 for Dunlap.
Malone feeling the rumble once again. It's going to be another handoff. It's a big run up the middle and a 1st down. Slides forward. It's Blake Dietz.
Blake Dietz on the carry.
Enough to move the chains, approaching the 2-minute mark, and the game is in Dunlap's hands right now. So you see him blow through the hole and gets enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, Dietz with 46 yards on the ground today. That was before that run, but a great game for both of these running backs for Dunlap.
Play action. Max Sutter's got it. He barrels forward and knocks down a defender. Another 1st down for the Eagles.
Yeah, Max Sutter just laid a big hit on Braden Bittner right there. And before that play, Sutter had 1 catch for 16 yards. I think that was Sutter's 2nd catch all game, but couldn't come in a bigger spot for the #1 player in Illinois.
Yeah, Sutter's been targeted probably 4 or 5 times. Only a 2nd time he's been able to connect. Clock stops just under 2 minutes. Hands it off. Dietz met in the backfield, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Blake Dietz brought down by Metamora.
As it was Caleb Morrison getting through. Looks like a couple of Metamora defenders might be laboring a little bit. Sam Barbarinas kind of holding his right hip.
Yeah, saw that.
These are the points where you just kind of got to, I don't know, push through it a little bit.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, though.
Yeah, rub some dirt on it. Swallow. This is the last defensive possession of the season, so gonna have to tough for this one.
Schmick bounces through by an ankle, makes it a manageable 3rd down. 3rd and a few to go. Approaching 1 minute.
Yeah, I've really been impressed by Jaden Schmick tonight. Every time he touched the ball, it's felt like a positive play. We see some big runs, but we also seen those 5 to 8 type of runs that are big for an offense.
3rd down and 5 for Dunlap.
Under a minute to go. Dunlap now senses a little bit of urgency. Crowd's starting to sense it a little bit. It's going to be another play action. Tyra's got it himself. He's trying to run out with it. He's going to fall forward out of bounds. 40 seconds to go. Clock will stop, and I think he's got a 1st.
Yeah, what a great play there from Tyra. Getting out of bounds, but also getting the 1st down. We'll see it right here. I think he's trying to go to Sutter once again. Actually, no, Sutter wasn't involved on that play, but Tyra, great job diving forward, getting out of bounds, and securing that 1st down for his team.
1st and goal to go with 40 seconds. A little bit of a reset. Dunlap has all 3 timeouts in their back pocket. Metamora has 2.
Confused. They're not moving the sticks here. Was there a penalty on that play we didn't see?
No call. Hold against the defense. So it was a defensive penalty. So it moves them even closer now. We'll go from about the 4-yard line. 40 seconds, rather the 3-yard line. 40 seconds to get 3 yards. 4 chances for the Eagles as you might see them in their 2nd overtime game of the season, and we'll get a timeout by Metamora. They'll rethink things. While we got the stoppage here, ahead of an exciting finish, I'd like to let you know why this game is possible tonight. This game's brought to you by Josh Rickenaw, Country Financial, right here in Peoria, Illinois. If you need help reaching your financial goals and planning for the future, give Josh Rickenaugh at Country Financial a call, 309-689-3161, or just stop into his office just south of Dunlap. Lots to talk about here in these huddles. Let's start for the offense. Dunlap, you're knocking on the door. This is about as close as you can get. This is hanging in the balance, trying to break this losing streak. What's Brett Caslett saying?
I think he's going to his best players. Obviously, like you said, they have 4 chances to go get 3 yards, and they also have 3 timeouts in their back pocket. But you got a lot of stars in that offense. Try to get to one of them, either it's Sutter or one of the running backs.
Probably on the other side, it's a bend, don't break sort of message for Metamora. 40 seconds to go. Hands it off. Schmick goes up the middle. Schmick. Is he in? Just short.
They're going to call him 1 yard short there. I think we're going to see a timeout here from Dunlap for sure.
24 seconds. Things are just waiting around. 20 seconds now. Believe that might be looking for a timeout. Finally, Dunlap calls him with 17 seconds. Probably now just trying to chew off enough clock to give Metamora no opportunity. You see a replay right here. Very, very close. Obviously a little bit screened there from the players.
Yeah.
The right idea.
Yeah, I was looking at the ref the whole time trying to see if his arms were raised, but I think his knee was down short, so I believe that was the right call. But yeah, Coach Kaz right there waiting to call that timeout, so doesn't give Metamora a chance.
Get another look at it from a different angle. You see Schmick trying to go on that left side. He kind of just falls into the pile of bodies. It looks like he might be brought back.
Yeah, right at the end there. I think that's a good call there, Gavin. I think that was the last effort by Metamora to bring him out of that end zone.
Still 3 chances, 2 timeouts in the Eagles' back pocket. We'll see if maybe they go their counterpart Philadelphia Eagles, push, or maybe just give it to one of your star running backs. It's Schmick again. Did he get it? He did get it! Jaden Schmick gets it in, and they're an extra point away from tying this football game.
Yeah, and that Dunlap student section is going crazy. Good way to keep going at it by this Dunlap team. It kind of looked like a few times the momentum had ran out for them, but they have crawled their way back to take a 1-point deficit here, and they are going to try and tie it.
It all comes down to this. Huge pressure. Extra point to tie it. A miss sends Metamora home with the win. The kick is up. It is good. Tie ball game, 23 apiece.
Tied the score at 23.
And 13 seconds here for Metamora, and this is what you want to see. Week 9 here, folks. Cold weather, 2 great teams. We got a pretty good shot at going to overtime here. But crazier things have happened.
Well, this is everything that you want. You get a look at this last play from Schmick. Falls on the pile of bodies and just reaches that arm across the goal line. Talk about player of the game for both sides. We'll have to talk about that after the game, but Schmick, probably a leading candidate for the fellas in white.
Yeah, he's making a really good case, that's for sure. He's been all over the field tonight. 12 carries, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the senior running back, along with playing their starting linebacker role. So what a game from him when it matters most.
3 minutes and 46 seconds, we're tied at 23.
Excellent game from him. On the other side, Jadon Cranford, equally as impressive. 17 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. So battle of the 2 running backs tonight in 13 seconds. See if maybe Nick Dolinsky's got some magic in his playbook. Otherwise, as you mentioned, you would be going to overtime, which Dunlap, the only of these 2 sides to have experience in that, a game they came out winners at Pekin all the way back in week 3. Feels like a lifetime ago. We'll see if that would serve them well.
Yeah, and a great quote from Coach Dolinsky this week. In his interview, he said, Jadon Cranford is one touch of the football away from scoring in the end zone. So got to have belief in your offense a little bit here with 13 seconds left.
And brought way back down. Bittner went backwards. Likely not the play they were looking for from Metamora. But Brady Allen came flying in for Dunlap, and you see he left nothing to chance. Did a nice job not to grab the horse collar, just uses momentum to bring him down.
Yeah, it's interesting that Bittner tried to go sideways there, taking a lot more time off the clock with that strategy. But we'll see if Dolinsky still tries to go for this.
One thing to remember, as the high school overtime rules are, a little different from the pros and from college. It's more like a 2-point try.
Yep.
And Metamora's converted a couple times on those tonight, so might have the upper hand. Still 9 seconds to go. He's rushed quickly, nearly sacked. Now Petrie will improvise, runs, gets some space to run. Petrie finally hit with 1 second to go, and they were calling timeout.
Yeah, I think they're going to get about a second here.
Yeah, should be about 1 tick on the clock, enough for 1 play.
Yeah. What a play there from Petrie.
Time still left on the clock.
Just making things happen once again. Looking to throw there, obviously, but working with his legs after that immediate pressure. Getting positive yards.
So they'll use their final timeout. They were definitely calling timeouts.
Yeah, they did not add any time on the clock.
Really probably doesn't make a big difference.
Yep.
Maybe basketball would be a little more tedious, but really only enough time for 1 play. 0.2 versus 1.
Petrie once again here, weaving through white shirts. He's done all game. So 0.2 left in this game. (23-23) is your score here. Redbirds trying to avoid overtime.
1 more play, prevent defense from Dunlap. Looks like they'll still rush 3. There's 3 back though. Petrie steps up. Now he's just gonna launch it, hitting the back, thrown way down the field, and it's intercepted. They're gonna try and take it back. They pitch it, get a little bit of a pitch down the sideline, and he'll be pushed out of bounds. And guess what? Overtime.
I like the idea right there on the lateral, but not enough there. And yeah, we're getting free football here, folks. And this is must-see TV, in my opinion. Both of these offenses are dynamic. Both of them are going to have to come up with some cool stuff as we see this Hail Mary attempt here by Petrie once again.
A bit of a wobble. Yeah, not a bad throw. He got kind of hit in the back, had pressure bearing down, but chalk it up to another one of those kind of interceptions, but, kind of an asterisk, however you want to look at it. So overtime in effect. I believe, as I got to brush up on my OT knowledge, both teams will get an opportunity to try and score here in overtime. Obviously, we'll have a coin toss here to determine who does what first. I believe they'll start from the 10-yard line. No game clock, just a play clock. If, in fact, we're still tied after the first overtime, where both teams will get a possession, then I believe it goes to 2-point attempts to finish out the ball game, which, again, Metamora has done successfully twice tonight. Looks like Metamora won the toss. Nick Dolinsky happy about the outcome there.
What do you do here, Gavin? If you win the toss here, what is your play if you're a head coach?
I really feel like I would want to try to score first and put a little pressure on the other side. Obviously, there's kind of pros and cons to both sides there, Luke.
There's no wrong answer there. I would defer personally. I think having the fade up to me at the end, I think, is the biggest thing.
And there's nothing wrong with that either, as Brett Caslett seeking that 100th win, and overtime is the only thing that stands in his way. 100 wins at Dunlap.
Yeah, and I asked Coach Kaz about it this week, and he was like, this is just another game. All we're trying to focus on is beating Metamora. Obviously, it's cool to get 100 wins, but that's not really my focus right now. It'll be cool after the game to realize that I got 100 wins, but just trying to beat Metamora. That was his mentality.
Yeah, very locked in as both sides are, and probably that's one of the lower tier lists on his item to-do list, especially with the playoffs coming up.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care about 100 wins. You'd like to have a few more than that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it will be Dunlap to start with football, 10-yard line. Essentially 4 chances to go for it. It's going to be a handoff. They're going to get it. Comes out to the near side. And it's going to be just short, about the 2-yard line on the run from Schmick.
Schmick has been all over this game. We've called his name a number of times, and he's up over 100 yards in this game now with his 13th carry there. But yeah, they have been dynamic in the run game. This offensive line has done a great job creating opportunities for these running backs and Tyra for that fact.
Second down, 2.
See if they go back to the well. Second down here in overtime. Schmick running forward, and they are in. First blow of overtime belongs to Dunlap.
And there you go, Gavin. There's that pressure you were talking about. Now it's up to the Redbirds to try to create something on their own. Interesting to see. I don't think Dunlap is the type of team that goes for 2, so I bet you we're going to see a kick here.
To them, probably the safer call. But they might be forced to have to go for 2 if we get to a second overtime.
Yep.
Again, Dunlap has missed one of these extra points. It was a misplayed snap and hold. Here's the chance on this one. The kick is up, and it is good. So it'll be a 7-point lead. The first half overtime done. Dunlap feels pretty good, but Metamora still into it as you get a look here at that touchdown to put them in front. Just a big pile of bodies moving Jaden Schmick in for another score.
Yeah, Schmick, 14 carries, 107 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the game. What an excellent game from the senior in his final regular season game.
3 times finding the end zone, over 100 yards. Big week from Jaden Schmick. Now Metamora 4 chances to try and match it and push this to another overtime. Just joined us recently. It's been a back-and-forth ball game. We've seen some lead changes, some ties. Tied at the end of regulation comes down to this. Petrie to Cranford on the outside, tries to break the edge and doesn't get any.
Cranford off the right side for
Kind of deja vu on that play, sort of exactly what they just ran, what Dunlap just ran for Schmick, just with Cranford for Metamora, but not the same success for the Redbirds.
Still 3 more shots at it. 10 yards to go. Rather, 9 yards. Does pick up 1. Essentially just got to get a first down, right? That's all it is.
Yep, that's right.
It's probably not what they're telling themselves out there, or at least thinking to themselves. A lot of pressure on these next 3 plays. Cranford motions. He's going to take it. He's going to hobble. He might get brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He will. Loss on the play. Dunlap's defense turning into monsters here in overtime.
Yeah, read that one like a book. Did the white jerseys, and Petrie kind of threw that one behind Cranford as we see it here again. I like the play idea, but it was low and kind of on the outside shoulder of Cranford. Kind of impossible to create space from there.
Dunlap's contingent on the other side, a mighty crew, braving the cold. They're into it. See if the Redbirds have an answer. 3rd and 14, 2 more tries. It's going to be a pass. Throws. It's nearly picked off, and it brings up 4th down.
Wow, that was almost nearly the end of the game, folks. That was almost nearly an interception there by Steffen. This is it, folks. There's going to be no bigger play in this game unless right now. 4th and 14.
And a line change here for Dunlap, so looks like they're going to be trying to cover the pass for sure. Throws a lot of extra DBs out there for this 4th down. Timeout by Metamora, I believe. Well, they're just going to let the play clock run down and then take their timeout. That's what they'll do.
Timeout called by Metamora.
Yeah, well, interesting to see what Metamora is going to do on this play. It's been a lot of run-heavy offense for them. We talked about those 3 receivers that they got in their arsenal, Pickles, McMillan, and Bittner, all obviously going to be in on this play, all obviously going to be targets. I also like Cranford coming out of the backfield here, maybe a receiving target. Then obviously, can't forget about Petrie's legs. It's a long way to go, but he's got the capability to go out there and make a difference on the run.
Yeah, probably the biggest difference maker here for Dunlap is needing to make a secure tackle, because a missed tackle or 2 could be the difference in Metamora tying this one or sending Dunlap home with the victory. You look at the total yardage there tonight, not too far away from each other, especially in rush yards. I mean, nearly identical.
And these 2 teams have been even all night. And if you're Metamora, if you're a player who's about to get tackled early right away, we can see a lateral here for sure.
They're going to send 4 receivers out. Cranford will be on the left side of Petrie, and a timeout as Dunlap is going to just wanted to see what was going to go on there and readjust, make Metamora think about it for a little longer.
Trying to ice the quarterback, if you will. We see ice in the kickers a lot, but kind of freezing the quarterback there. So now, if you're Dolinsky, do you change up what you do here, or do you just stick with it? Kind of just a last-ditch effort, try to save your season here.
Dunlap, not much to say in their huddle. Looks like Metamora is going to talk about it and revisit a couple of points. One play to decide how the final game of the regular season will go.
Yeah, and I still assume we see 3 wideouts here. 4 wideouts, excuse me.
It's going to be 3 wideouts this time. 2 in the backfield. Here it is. Petrie steps up, nearly sacked. He's got to throw it. End zone. Not caught. Knocked down. Dunlap survives.
Pass incomplete. Final score, Dunlap 30, Metamora.
A sea of white jerseys comes pouring onto the field. Dunlap's 2nd overtime win of the season. And they finish the regular season at 7-2, as does Metamora. What a thriller to end week 9.
Yeah, and what a win here from Dunlap. Multiple times it kind of seemed like this game was going to go in the way of Metamora, but after dropping 2 in a row, Dunlap comes into a tough environment and gets the win. And let's tip our caps to Coach Caslett, achieving his 100th win right here in an overtime Week 9 game. And just shout out to Gillespie right there, making that play on the hit to knock the ball free to secure the win. 30-24 is your final score.
Both teams shake hands as Brett Caslett, 100 career wins at Dunlap. Congratulations to him. Despite the loss, Metamora again finishes a very, very good 7-2 season, as does Dunlap, and you can just see how close all season has been. I got to think, Luke, a lot of these recent nail biters for Dunlap that have been kind of going the other way definitely helped them in coming out with a win tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. Despite all the blowouts they had this season, they did have a lot of in-game or a close game experience. You're right, week 3, and these last 2 weeks have been close, and now this game going to overtime. That's going to give them a lot of experience going into the playoffs. If they need to experience a close game like this one, they are ready for it, that's for sure. And with an experienced coach like Haslett, they are primed and ready for a good playoff run.
So we'll see. Both these teams could land themselves a home game. Have to wait and see what tomorrow brings, as the IHSA will release those, I believe, tomorrow, sometime middle of the day. So hold your breath for about 24 hours or so, a little less. We'll see what happens. Let's break this one down a little bit, though. Luke, Metamora had a great stretch of games. We'll pause that for a second. Might get a bit of a water dump for Brett Caslett. It's going to be nice and chilly on a night like tonight. There it is. He's trying to dodge it at all costs, but he'll get a little bit of a shower. Got to be a good feeling there.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially, again, the last couple weeks not going their way.
Yeah, Coach Caslett, when I asked him also, he attributes his success to the great players he's had over the years. I asked him, like, what does it mean to compete for your 100th win? He's like, that means that I've had some really great players. So the first thing for a coach to come out of his mouth attributing to his players, that's a sign of a great head coach.
And the students making the trip head to the field as well. Not often you see the away team rush the field, but definitely a lot to celebrate here after a huge Week 9 victory. And then turn our eyes over to Metamora, as we were just talking about a moment ago. Rough way to end the season, but you got to really be proud of what you put together. They had a really nice stretch of games, some huge wins over some really respectable opponents, and I got to think that they are very primed and ready to go for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's for sure. With Cranford looking healthy near the end of that game, I think they are ready for that playoff push. Speaking of Cranford, he had 19 carries, 112 yards, and 1 touchdown in the game. But yeah, Metamora as a whole, they put together a great game as a team. Petrie with 88 yards, a touchdown, also those 2 interceptions, but one of those was catching. But also, I just think together they played a great game. The offensive line played great for Cranford tonight. Those receivers had their moments. Petrie did a great job under center, and their defense looked great. Just some of those bang plays and some of those penalties just did not go their way tonight, and that's what it came down to, I think so, in the end.
Yep, it took extra possession to get the job done, so both these teams, a little bit of a different outlook heading into the postseason, but certainly a bright one indeed for both sides. A lot of celebration there for the team in white, the team in red. A little bit of a bitter taste in their mouth, but maybe never a bad thing, with a little chip on your shoulder heading into the playoffs. Some other games around the area as we wrap things up. Looks like Washington is going to go undefeated in the Mid-Illini Conference. They will be conference champions. Peoria Notre Dame is going to be a winner tonight. Peoria High over Normal Community, 36-14. Again, that was our game on CIProud.com. So some teams taking some big efforts heading into the postseason. And Pekin, they'll sneak in. They'll be the 5th Mid-Illini team as they defeat East Peoria in Week 9. As they'll head 5 Mid-Illini teams into the playoffs. Luke, final thoughts. It was a great regular season. Lots of great memories, but I think we got to shift our focus for a few weeks now to the playoffs.
Yeah, I just want to say my final thought is thanks for watching, guys. This has been a great game. Dunlap always puts on entertaining games whenever I'm around. So this was a fun game to watch, and perfect Week 9 game if you're tuning in. Stars across the field, a great atmosphere, came down to the wire, couldn't ask for any better.
Absolutely, Luke. Great thoughts there. We're excited for the playoffs. For our entire Clutch Sports Media crew out here in Metamora, Ryan Angulo on camera, as well as Magnus Roeder on the other camera. For our producer, Josh Messenger, Sydney Barnes, the director, my broadcast partner, Luke Young. It's Gavin Russell saying so long from Metamora. We'll have more playoff action coming up. Stay tuned on our Clutch Sports Media social media accounts and our website. We'll have live coverage coming from the postseason, very likely. Well, we might be seeing both of these teams as well. We'll leave it here. Final score, 30-23, Dunlap in overtime. We'll be back for more football action in November, coming up on ClutchSportsIL.com. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and have a great evening.